Greetings and welcome to the 9-Panel Weekly Comic Book Podcast, the official podcast of the Fallout Shelter in Highland Park, New Jersey. I'm your host, Steve.
Are we really?
We really are.
Interestingly enough, we're actually there right now.
Yeah. It's free
Highland
comic
Park,
book
New
day.
Jersey.
We're actually
That's
in
where it is.
Steve's
Yes.
basement.
Yeah, this is my basement. I have big ass televisions on the back screen, you
You
know.
invite people into your basement.
Random
Yeah, and I
reviews.
show them all my back issues, and we go from there.
Yeah, I like that you have in your basement just stuff set up. You know, you have it nice packaged.
Well, I also
Arranged.
act as an. I
Are
also
we
act.
streaming?
I don't know. Are we? We'll have to figure it out. It says we are. Well, we'll find
Although
out.
you can't watch the stream while we're
You're
streaming.
breaking this. We're definitely streaming. Can you hear us though?
It's like that point.
Yeah.
In,
All right.
It's like
so
that
we're
point
live.
in Spaceballs where they're watching themselves. I missed a movie.
So we're watching now.
Yes. Now. Now.
But
no,
when will-
that was before. This is now.
But when will then be now?
Now.
Soon. Everyone knows I drink coffee when I watch Radar.
Everybody.
Anyway, so we are here at the Fallout Shelter in Highland Park, New Jersey for Free Comic Book Day, the first Saturday in May every year. This is, I think, the 9th year that's going on.
So actually, this might be my first year. I'm actually here like sober.
You should speak up a little bit.
The first time I'm here.
You know you're supposed to be looking at the camera, too.
Well, we
There's
did
so
have
many-
plans for you to come with us last.
You don't need to wear those.
I want to wear this.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you
Why
look
not?
good.
It's a bad idea.
None of us are wearing it.
Right. So anyway, we're here, and there's a lot of people. Well, actually, when we walked in this morning, there was a ton of people.
Yeah, we actually had a line outside the door.
Yeah, which was great. You know, we love hearing that. We love seeing, you know, tons of people coming
It's
for
free
comic-
stuff.
Actually-
Why would no one want to come for free stuff? You could be in the neighborhood and just say.
I don't know why you keep on teetering off to this really quiet level when
Yeah.
we're supposed to be like, you know,
Trail off.
yeah. You just kind of like you do this
You know
on the
what it is?
podcast
You get
normally.
into like a story mode, and then it's just, but for some reason your story mode is like 5 decibels below your talking decibels.
He's speaking in a Game of Thrones type of level, like where he'll start really high and then he comes down to this really low volume where it gets really super serious.
Get the Stark girl.
The Hound. I'm the Hound. Hey! Hey! Is John wearing long pants? Sorry, Janfith. He is actually wearing long pants.
He is.
I was hoping that he was going to be... Wait. Here we go. There's some legs there. So yeah, unfortunately... Right. Unfortunately, he's not wearing the kilt. So you don't know if you should actually, you know, invite him to your wedding. But
It's too breezy. I would have, but it's real. There's a draft coming in the store, and I don't think that would be comfortable.
I think you just like crying about things.
I do like complaining. Don't get
Right.
me wrong.
But we're not here to talk about John's long pants, although we could do about that for probably an hour, I would say. But we're actually here to talk about Free Comic Book Day. Free Comic Book Day, like we said, is every Saturday, or every first Saturday in May, where the industry comes together through Diamond, and they give out a bunch of free books to the masses. We do it for expanding the industry, we do it as community outreach.
This is
and-
so boring.
Well, you know, this is what the podcast is going to be, so maybe you should just settle in for the long haul, buddy.
I guess.
But anyway, so we're here. There's a lot of good books this year. There's a ton, like every year, we have a ton of books for the younger generation, which is great. And we also have, you know, a bunch of different stuff going on for more mature audiences. In fact, this year, Marvel's actually done a really good job of leading into an event through Free Comic Book Day.
Yes.
Which is really what I liked. And so, but we're going to get to that. That's going to be, of course, Infinity. But we have a lot of other stuff going on this week.
Spoiler alert! It's really cool.
Spider-Man
Thanks
dies.
for ruining things.
Sorry.
Spider-Man dies?
I did say spoiler
Spider-Man,
alert.
well, Spider-Man's alive, but which Spider-Man will live, right? So there's a lot of books that we're going to be talking about this week. As you can tell, this is our first live streaming event.
As you can tell.
Because John and Ollie's really the biggest problem here right now. Stop it! You're touching me. I don't like being
It's not my
touched.
first time on TV.
Right.
Right.
And then I just say, I hate you guys for giving me the aisle seat because I'm constantly being touched by people as
Right.
they're walking. I'm like, ugh.
If you didn't know, John hates people. So getting him here today.
Can we start talking about comics?
Yeah, we
No,
can.
no, no.
I still need
No,
to
this
pick
is
up
Free Comic Book Day. We're not supposed to talk about
I
comics.
still need to pick up my books for the week.
You should talk to the camera.
But I'm talking to you guys. I don't
Right,
care.
but
They don't care if
But
I don't
you,
pick up
but you
books.
talk at such a low volume. Hey.
At the next break, you'll be able to pick your books. I promise.
All
Don't
right.
listen to
all
what
right.
this
As,
guy
long,
tells
as long as I'm allowed to do that.
Anyway, I like the fact that we had to really worry about our HDMI cable here. We're actually, I don't know if you can see us in the back, but we're on the big screen. We're really fancy here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so make sure you can follow us on Twitter at 9panel in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. You
Just
see our
follow
little
me
symbol.
at Expressing It. XPRESSI.
They can see it on the screen
I know, but I'm for the tone deaf.
for the tone deaf.
Yeah.
You mean for the
Wait,
blinds?
yeah, I'm gonna say if they're tone deaf, they can still see it.
For the Helen Kellers of the
Also,
audience.
even if they're tone deaf, I mean, what does it matter if they can't sing?
Why is
Right.
Helen Keller listening to our podcast?
I said Helen Kellers, as in like
They
this
shouldn't
type
be.
of person.
We don't want them listening.
That was
That's. I think we want
Too
everyone
soon.
listening.
We don't want the reference.
Too soon? Yeah. No, I agree.
is nothing.
Just like my Christopher Reeve jokes, always
Just like that.
ill-advised.
Yeah.
All your jokes are
You
ill-advised.
could never make that joke. I'm sorry. You're gonna.
Is it? Wait. All right.
In
All right.
your
Wait, no,
lifetime,
no, no. Let me ask you a
no.
question.
In your lifetime, it's not gonna be cool to make those jokes.
Okay, so
In
before
like 100 years, you can make all those jokes you want.
All right,
But right now, it's not cool. It's too soon.
I agree with you, but let me ask you a serious question here. Do you think the reason that we can't say Christopher Reeve's jokes is because 1, he was Superman, 2, he fell off a horse, or 3,
It's obviously the
the
two.
work he did after falling off the horse?
I think a combination of 2 and 3.
So
I
it has
had to
nothing to
guess.
do with Superman.
Someone just said that you're too fidgety on camera.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like anyone.
As you could
I'll
tell.
stop jumping around, guys. I'm not a newscaster. I don't sit here stoic.
All right.
Anyway.
Right there, Walter Cronkite,
Good,
Oh,
good
man, I
reference.
would
That's
be-
really relevant.
Thank you.
Or Brian Williams.
Brian Williams.
He's from Jersey. Go Jersey. But anyway,
Fuck Jersey.
instead of just ranting here, let's get into some books.
All right.
Okay, what
So-
books did we get early?
So this is the Free Comic Book Day books. We're going to be doing a little bit of a state your case on this type of deal. We're not going to be assigning points as it is.
No.
But I'm going to moderate between John and Ali about, the Star Wars book here. So this is from Dark Horse. It's a Dark Horse sampler.
They're also keeping it, right? They're keeping it for the next year or so?
What's that?
Well, they're going to
Star
keep
Wars.
publishing
Yeah.
this story, if that's what you're asking.
No, I think they didn't say. I was just reading an article that says Dark Horse is keeping. Was it E2C2?
E2,
Whatever it is.
C2E2, the Chicago
Yeah.
Comic Con.
Yeah, CP3O.
Is that what
So
that spells?
they
you
they
making
said
up
that Marvel
letters?
is going to be picking up the publishing for it for a while.
Oh, so
Oh,
they're
okay.
going to start
Yeah.
publishing this story?
Yeah.
Oh, that.
I mean, I like that. So, but anyway, the Dark Horse sampler not only just has the Star Wars story written by Brian Wood. The Brian Wood story, the main Star Wars story in that Dark Horse have been publishing is about issue 4 now.
Yeah.
And it's been incredibly solid. Not only has it been telling an engaging story with Luke, Leia, Han, Darth Vader, it's also telling it between the battles of Yavin and Hoth. So this is a really cool framing device that they're
Oh
using.
yeah, I know that battle.
Did you see this in the movie? you
you've
watched
seen-
that battle. Why you fall asleep?
You're no nerd, I know. But anyway, so John, why don't you tell these people why they should or should not, and you should keep on spilling coffee on yourself.
See, this is why I wanted to get a napkin.
This is why we shouldn't be on video.
Anyway, it was just Vader being really cool.
Yeah,
Like right now we have Vader, which we've really never seen him in the movies where he's down and out.
Right.
And we have Torn who's taken over his Super Star Destroyer.
yeah.
And then Torn pretty much tries to kill it, like it's an assassination
This sounds
attempt.
so boring right
And
now.
it's
because
really
you don't
cool
like Star Wars.
because it just shows like
I
Darth
love
Vader
Star Wars.
why
May the
he
Fourth be
got,
with you.
like how he got to where
May the
he
Fourth
is.
be with you, right? Yeah.
Tomorrow's Revenge of the Fifth.
I get it.
You get it?
I get it.
So basically, it's just Darth Vader has to use all his ingenuity, all his force powers to get himself. He's basically sucked out into space, and then through like pretty much sheer force of will,
Yeah, sheer will.
he climbs up the Star Destroyer using a lightsaber, breaks into the glass,
Right, sucks out everyone.
kills everybody except for
Torn,
Torn,
right.
and then kills him.
Right, in a really epic way.
Yeah, and in a very public way, which I also like that he was talking
It was
about
spoken about,
strategy.
yeah.
Like you have to do it ruthlessly, as soon as possible, and it has to be very public. And it was just like very smart, like Darth
You're
Vader.
squashing
just-
rebellions.
Yeah, Darth Vader being very politically smart.
Yeah, he's a savvy gentleman.
Yeah,
But anyway, so what else do we have in this book?
there was.
It
also
literally was
a
a self-contained Star
Yeah.
Wars Darth Vader story.
Yeah, it was a one-shot, and it,
I don't think it was fitting into the Star Wars ongoing that they have.
well, it does. I think you could still read the Star Wars ongoing, but you're gonna wonder what happened to that really bad, that cool character
Right,
who took over for for Darth Vader.
right, I agree. You can keep on talking, John.
That's about.
That's about it.
Yeah.
So what about these other stories on the Dark Horse sampler? Not only did they have the
Nobody
Star
Grim
Wars,
cares?
Ghostly Captain
People
Midnight
care.
in the case of the Grim Ghostly Pilot was interesting. It's kind of pulpy. I don't see myself picking it up. It seems kind of kiddish and simplistic.
It does seem
The
a little
artwork
simplistic.
is really cool. It reminds me a lot of The Rocketeer.
Yeah, I see a little bit of the Rocketeer in this. I do really like the story, but you're right, it does seem a little thin.
Yeah.
What I did really like about this book is it had a kind of a, and maybe this is the kiddie portion that you're talking about, but it kind of had a Scooby-Doo vibe to it.
Yeah, definitely did. Well, the whole ghost thing, like
Yeah, so there was a ghost that
I
was
would've-
basically haunting.
yeah, that Nazi dude.
Yeah,
I
so
would have
that-
gotten away with it if it wasn't for you, Captain Midnight.
So that was a really solid actual but I can see if I have a few kids, I would definitely see them picking up this.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
I
I
would
can
love
see
to
this.
introduce them to pulp characters, and I think this is a good way to do it.
Yeah, and it's a very light, airy story. It moves forward pretty quickly. It
Although-
seems like, based on this, it might be a good series for a kid to pick up.
But if I did have to say between Captain Midnight and a Rocketeer miniseries,
Rocketeer.
I would go Rocketeer miniseries 10 times
Yeah.
out of 10. And then finally, the last part of the Dark Horse sampler on the back, on the flip side,
Is a Avatar
Is the
comic, which
B-side?
I
Is the
did not
B-side
read.
the B-side.
The
yeah.
B-side.
The Avatar Last Airbender comic. So this is, of course, modeled after the Nickelodeon animated series. I've never been a big fan. I think it's a little
It's
past
pretty
my
good.
time. I've heard
I've
really
heard
good
good
things.
things about it, but I
Right.
just never
I heard
seen it.
very good things. About it.
But you know what my
Whoa,
big problem
whoa, whoa!
was?
Don't throw that term around. A free comic book day of all
Well, it's
days.
being sponsored, all right? So we got to say it like 4 times.
Very good.
Very Good is being sponsored.
Or
Very
is it-
good. But anyway, so what I heard about this is really, it makes me feel like I should be reading this, should be watching the show. But then I have that really bad taste of the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
What are you talking? What movie did you see?
The really bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The really good one.
Did you enjoy that movie?
I hated it.
Was Dev Patel in that movie?
Yeah, he was.
He was.
It's hard to remember anybody who was in that movie.
They were all
Well, it was
Indian.
such a shame of the movie. It really was.
They're all South Asian.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It's where it's, centered. So I guess that makes sense.
It really isn't centered in South Asia, actually.
Where is it? I don't know anything about it.
It's around the world. It's all over the world.
Okay. So just everyone's Southeast Asian or South Asian?
Yeah, they just did that. I don't know why they did it like that.
Cool. Well, it is M. Night Shyamalan, so who
Are
knows?
we being racist right now?
I don't think so. I don't think we're being racist.
All right.
But whatever.
You're saying
Bro,
it.
I love
So I
racism.
feel like when you say something, my gut is always telling me you're being racist.
Yeah, that's basically right.
Based on past,
Past what?
based
Past
on
experiences.
based on the
All right.
past.
So DC Superman was really
Yeah,
good.
so let's move on to DC Superman here.
Some of the best art I've actually seen in a really long time in a comic. I mean, first of all, what's really been good, Superman's been really good, period. I
You
think
boost
in
up your
DC
levels a little bit.
in
You
DC
talk really low.
I talk really low, all right?
You do.
Is it as good as the
What's
Action Comics?
what
that Diggle
Action
wrote?
Comics? Yeah, right. So like that's what I said. It's as good as Action Comics. This follows
Is it as
Superman.
confusing as the Grant Morrison
not.
Action Comics?
It's
or is
not.
it very straightforward?
Very straightforward.
Cool.
So what happens is Superman, aka Kal-El, finds out that there's a child or something headed towards Metropolis. He goes to stop it, and he finds inside of it a child,
Okay.
and that child turns out to be a Kryptonian child.
That's interesting.
And now the U.S. government has taken him in for testing.
Okay.
So Superman steals him out of the government facility, and then the book ends with him taking him back to his parents, saying, "You did this once. Can you show me how to do it myself?" Which is pretty cool. Which is basically hide a child.
So basically, he hides a child and takes him in as his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So now I want to see how this is going to progress.
So does it lead to? Does it tell you like?
Is
oh,
this going to be like a new series, or is this?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't really say.
Does it seem like it's a one shot?
I know. There's no way. There's no way something this Paramount can be a one shot.
Okay. Interesting.
So
The creative team on this is really the biggest thing for me.
Jeff Johns and Richard Donner.
Yeah, and not only that, but you have the awesome art of Adam Kubert in there
Yeah,
too.
Kubrick killed it.
And
This
then,
was-
to even make it even better, DC really pulled out all the stops because you have Dave Stewart on colors.
Yeah.
And Dave Stewart has been doing everything this year between the Massive,
Honestly-
a lot of the Hellboy stuff. He's just all over the
and
place.
as we know, Free Comic Book Day 2 has changed over the years. I mean, not back in the day, I remember when I used to stop in. Books were okay.
Right.
I mean, now people have been putting out some of their best work, during
yeah,
Free Comic Book
stuff
Day.
that actually gets you excited to read a series.
Yeah.
right, so
Which
it's
is
not
a really
just-
smart
So this
idea.
is definitely a book that I have to say I'm really excited to hopefully go somewhere because I've been a big fan of Action Comics.
I enjoyed the last 2 issues, and we'll actually talk about Action Comics number 20 in a few
Yeah,
minutes.
I've been enjoying the
The
Diglester.
Diglisters, yes, the Digster. That would be Andy Diggle for those of you at home. But anyway,
Because we're friends like
money.
that.
was it all Superman, or was there anything else in here? Was it a full 22-page Superman story?
We got a lot of Lois. We got a lot of Perry.
Nice.
Okay.
I mean, but yeah, a lot of it was most of it was him coming to terms with the fact that because that's when we also see Superman talking to his father,
Right.
Jor-El, and Jor-El's telling him the only reason you were sent there is because you look like them. Remember, you're not one of them.
Okay.
So he starts to feel a little lonely and coming to terms with the fact that, you know, he is the last person. Like, you know, we never really get that like real heaviness that you're like the last person of your kind. You know, that's tough. You know,
Well, it's tough to convey. You know? It's tough to convey.
Yeah,
you know?
so-
and plus it's also something that, you know, we don't have any personal experience with.
Okay,
A
yeah.
lot of-
Actually, I think not personally, but I think everybody has that feeling of, hey, I'm alone. That's why Superman's relatable.
Oh, good point.
Everybody feels alone
Good
at
point.
some point.
I would agree with that.
So really, at the end of the day, great book.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best books out right now, and or Free Comic Book Day. Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's only like 4 that are actually interesting.
Yeah. So it's one out of the 4.
Yeah. So, let's move on.
All right, let's talk about another book that I was actually really interesting. I would actually term this very good. That would be Marvel Infinity, which actually got me really excited for this new event coming up.
Right.
It's a very short preview. It's really, but it does so much in that time. It combines the cosmic side of the Marvel Universe with the Avengers side.
Right.
Links it up in like a really cool way, and the artwork looked absolutely amazing.
No,
How
I agree.
amazing.
It was pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know, what I really liked about this is Marvel's been doing a really good job with the cosmic
By the way,
universe.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
interrupt you guys because I like to interrupt. I
Right.
think James Richardson is the only one listening right now. Apparently, that's what he said, so he deserves a badge.
What
So
kind of
James-
badge do you want?
So James, how about you send us your mailing address, and then we can firebomb it, or we can actually send you a couple badges. Thank you.
We don't have badges though.
Also,
We have
don't make
pins.
terroristic
We have
threats over the
pins.
internet.
Yeah, that's probably a really bad idea.
I said firebomb.
Yeah.
Did you just say I'm black?
No. That's not what we said.
You know that's.
Did you say I'm Michonne?
I don't even know what that means.
I know
You know
what
what that
it means. We're
means.
moving on. We're moving on from that comment. Let's
Anyway.
talk about more. And then there was also a really cool older story involving Thanos and Drax the Destroyer.
See, all right, so that's a little confusing. I read this, and yes, I agree with you that it was Thanos and it was a destroyer, but I just don't know.
If it's Drax the Destroyer or
Right.
if it's another Destroyer, yeah, I don't know either.
Because
I've
they never
actually
reference him by name, but I
I've
think
also
he is.
never read any. Thanos Rising is actually the first story with Thanos in it that I'm reading. I've only heard about.
I just
him,
want you
and
to
same
know
thing
the
with
comic
Drax
book's
the
in my
Destroyer.
face.
What?
Sucks to be you. Maybe you should move over. That's a little weird.
Now you're making.
Now you're just being
See,
creepy.
now you're making it weird by calling attention to it.
Right. We had a good flow going
We
here.
did.
Go ahead.
All right, where was I? I was talking about the.
You were talking about the last flower.
which was a.
Who got deflowered?
It was a planet with a ceremonial flower that Thanos destroyed.
It was like their religious symbol. And Thanos was trying to destroy it, I guess, to destroy their
I mean,
thought process on God.
it didn't really mean too much to me because I don't really know anything about that flower. I get it means something from the contents of the story, but I really enjoy the artwork. It reminded me a lot of Jack Kirby. Like it was like a very
well, yeah.
like
Well, it's an older story, so
Yeah.
you have that more classic Marvel look to it.
but with,
it's interesting
like,
though.
nice
Yeah.
quality of paper.
Yeah, that's what I was
It
just
actually
gonna
makes a
say.
difference because I do enjoy old comics, but the paper they were printed on is just terrible. It's
yeah.
like one step above newsprint.
Yep. Anyway, so that's fun.
Yeah.
So what else was in there?
Oh, there was also a story about Captain America hanging out in the Avengers Tower.
So this is actually, I don't know if you know this, but Marvel's doing a set of original graphic novels for the Avengers.
Uh-huh.
And what they're going to be doing is it's going to be really great talent working on these, and it's going to come out basically one a year.
Uh-huh.
So this one is going to be called Avengers Endless Wartime.
Okay.
And what I really liked about this is because you have Warren Ellis writing. I forget who's on the artwork on this, but
Uh-huh.
the artwork works really well for the story, and it's so far the first preview we see here is very lighthearted.
Yeah.
And-
Actually, I enjoyed that, like Captain America, like talking about how he's like a boy from the Bronx and he'll never be comfortable with a butler. Like that was.
Exactly.
It's a nice little touch. That sounds like something Captain America would say.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Jarvis is actually. I like when Jarvis is not a robot.
Yeah.
Or an AI, I should
yeah,
say.
I agree.
I think he works better as a regular human. I think he has that great Alfred Pennyworth charm to him.
Yeah,
and that works
but
really
it's
well.
in a different way. It's less like I feel like the Alfred Batman relationship is a little heavier,
Right.
than just Jarvis.
No, I would agree with that. I mean, I think Alfred is a little bit more in the game.
Yeah,
I guess would
definitely.
be. No, that makes sense. But anyway, so
Oh.
Ali, let's move on to your next book for the Free Comic Book Day. This is the last one that I think mature readers would really be interested in.
The Walking Dead.
There's a few others. The Tick's coming out, so you might have a few friends
What's
who are
coming
really
out?
it, not here, unfortunately,
Ah.
but it is around. So if you go to another comic book shop, there is definitely one there for you.
Why don't they have the tick? That seems like something.
I would love the tick.
That's just how the cookie crumbled.
I like cookies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you like looking at yourself as well?
Well, I'm trying to change a thing.
So
Trying to change the
James
comic.
Richardson was asking why I'm the only one with real facial hair.
What is that supposed to mean, James?
Because I shaved today because I want to look nice for the
I shaved
podcast.
too. I used to have real facial hair, and then I
Anyways,
shaved.
so Walking Dead was really,
So this is the Walking
it-
Dead free comic book day special.
honestly, probably the best one.
Really?
Really?
Was it
Yeah.
a straight up reprint of the
Nope,
Governor
it
story?
was
or
not
was
a
it like
reprint.
whole
What
new
it
story?
took was it took 4 different characters from current Walking Dead and brought them at the point where the apocalypse happened. The
Okay.
zombie apocalypse.
Okay,
happened.
so this is day of.
Day up. So you
Oh,
have
so it's
Michonne.
kind of like Walking Dead Zero.
Yeah, you have
So you
Michonne.
basically get Rick sitting in a hospital.
No,
Ah.
you get Michonne.
Oh,
you
that
get
would have been
Dwayne.
great if that was just a whole
It was a whole
issue.
book. It's just the
Like just what Rick
silent
was doing the
panels of
day
him
of,
sleeping.
and it's just
No, no. It was Michonne. It was Dwayne. All right, can I finish?
Yeah.
Nope.
Michonne, Dwayne, and the governor.
Okay.
What was the
And-
governor doing before?
So he was looting.
Spoiler alert.
He was looting with a friend.
Wait,
Okay.
so he was a criminal before the entire thing happened?
No, well, he was looting while it was happening, and it was him and a friend. And apparently now he had started getting respect as
Okay.
the governor. So the guy was telling him, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Cause he was getting fish tanks." And he's like, "What are you doing with these fish tanks?"
Okay.
And he's like, "What I'm doing is like I'm getting these horrors, and once I get these horrors, I'm gonna keep looking at them until I'm not scared of them anymore."
Quick point of reference.
Yeah.
John, you're gonna switch around. Move your chair.
I
Catty corner it.
I don't think that's going to work out for angling wise because people are always walking this way. I think.
That should be better. No, wrong. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that was good. But
Screw you,
Ali
Ollie.
maybe have to move over.
I don't know.
Anyways,
So why don't you talk about Walking Dead?
and then all of a sudden he tells him, "I'm gonna start putting severed heads in here, starting with yours," to his friend. It's kind of messed up. It's like
Yeah,
me
it's
saying it to
pretty
you
messed
guys. We see Michonne with her boyfriend and his best friend. She used to be like a businesswoman, kind of
Okay.
crazy. And those swords she stole from a friend. And then we see Dwayne and his father right before like at Christmas. So it seemed like this happened around Christmas, around that time.
Oh wait, so they bring back Twain?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And his dad.
He's a character
Okay.
that I really miss.
Yeah,
And
he was a cool character.
did he end up dying? Because he
was.
came back.
I believe he died in the prison.
Who was his dad? His dad was I read his
Oh.
dad. But his dad died too, right?
There's so many characters
Yeah,
who died in The
right.
Walking Dead. It's hard to keep track of them.
They usually do.
So, anyways, well, what I liked was the pacing was great, and also this is something that was needed. I really like, for instance, I always wanted to know what Michonne was doing before. She was an executive. And
Okay.
She was a lawyer.
Yeah, she was a
Or
lawyer.
a
No, she
lawyer.
was a lawyer.
Yeah, or a lawyer, whatever. But she was She was like, an executive.
Doing well.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you see her like, and those 2 guys that she has that she brings with her everywhere, the 2 zombies, are
Yeah.
her boyfriend and
Boyfriend
his
and the
best
brother.
friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they made reference to that.
Yeah,
when she
they've
came.
definitely talked about that a little bit.
Did they ever go over how she got the sword, or is that?
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there?
they were her neighbors. She broke into her neighbor's house.
Oh, and he just had
And
like a battle ready.
He had 3.
ninja sword.
He had 3 ninja swords.
Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
on
See,
display.
that's the neighbor you want to be with. When this goes down, you want a neighbor who has like battle ready swords and guns.
No, I agree 100%.
See, I had that with one neighbor. Like I had this planned out.
Okay.
Like if
Wait,
the zombie
so wait,
apocalypse
wait.
ever happens,
Wait, so
I'm
this
going
is
to his
this is
house.
now our new conversation where we're going to talk a little bit about what we would do in the event of a zombie apocalypse.
I guess.
We could do that. I'm down
I
with
always,
that.
my plan was always to loot my neighbor's house because he had a bunch of weapons.
Like weapons
But I
that you
guess-
think would be effective against zombies?
Yeah, he had. Well, he was a hunter, so he had like shotguns. He also he was.
You don't want shotguns.
Well, he had. I think shot. Yeah, you do. They're very loud. But this is what I was thinking as a 50-year-old kid. I'm probably gonna need this kind of
50-year-old kid?
You
15.
you were a 50-year-old kid?
Yeah, actually, I had the Benjamin Button disease.
You still have the Benjamin Button?
You don't get rid of that. It's a lifelong disease. Did you not see the movie?
I guess that makes sense. You are a really old man, and you look really young.
Yeah, but
It's kinda
I'm
weird.
yeah.
If I'm gonna be, like, I look older than you, and I'm like 6 years younger than you,
Yeah.
because you're like
Anyways.
80.
Thank you.
The things that I would do, I cannot say on the podcast.
Right. Well, let's not do that.
All right. Thanks for adding that to the.
My idea.
But they would involve the words poking and stabbing.
No, my idea for a zombie apocalypse
That
is
sounds
follows.
like everybody's planning a zombie apocalypse.
No, I want to go to a graveyard. I still
Yeah,
feel like
that's
this is probably the
safest
best
place to
bet.
go. Because the living have a natural they don't want to go to it.
Right.
And all the dead that are there are either buried 6 feet underground or.
So you're gonna hear them coming.
Yeah.
If God forbid they really.
No, that's probably.
Or if they're exposed to it.
Uh-huh.
Because if it's an airborne thing, then you don't have to worry about them coming back because there's no air down there.
Unless you're in a mausoleum.
You know what?
I'm not gonna go to your mausoleum.
Now I would destroy the stairs in our apartment building, and I would just live on the 5th floor.
So
And
it's a
then
tough
I would just
situation.
use the
How would you
elevator
destroy stairs?
There's not gonna be electricity.
Yeah, well, there's not gonna be electricity everywhere. I'm just gonna. That's where I feel like that's the safest. You destroy the stairs, you stay up on the 5th floor. Zombies can't get up there, and then you use the elevator shaft to come and go. You can form your own society on that 5th floor.
Wait, so how are you destroying stairs?
Wait, so
But
you wait.
I'm assuming it's a zombie apocalypse. I somehow have access to dynamite, and I'm gonna destroy those stairs.
How are you gonna get?
Is that so? There's the dead coming back to life, and you're really concerned with the logic of me getting dynamite to blow up stairs.
All I'm saying is, in Lost, there's a big concern about where you're gonna find the dynamite and what kind of condition the dynamite's gonna be in.
All right, well then I'll use my own drawing.
You saw what happened
and
to
I will-
Leslie Arn.
I'll use a pickaxe and I'll destroy
This
the
is
stairs.
like really
How
going
long
off
is it
like
gonna
the
take?
rails like bad. Can
What?
we just continue? What's
All right,
next?
let's move on.
Is that the last of them?
Should we move on?
I guess if Ali's not too concerned.
Right.
I'm not. Let's.
All right.
Ollie doesn't seem very impressed by our podcast in general,
I don't.
on a weekly basis, let alone today.
Yeah.
Because I still have to pick up my books. So let's do this.
All right, we're gonna take a nice little scheduled break here, and we'll be right back with some more of the 9-panel.
Weekly
What is it? What do we call this?
Livestream.
The 9-panel free comic book day live stream.
All right, this is how I think we should
Okay.
do it. We should call it the
do you
9-panel
pause
free
it?
free comic book day live stream podcast, weekly podcast.
Colon podcast.
Yeah. Comma, what really happened at Knuckle Beach?
What did happen in the
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we'll be right back, guys.
Will we? Why is it still going?
What?
All right, so welcome back, guys. We are going to get into some of our regular comic books from this week. That was May 1st. We had a big week, actually, surprisingly, because usually the week before Free Comic Book Day is a little light. But I feel like this week they had a lot of number ones,
Yeah.
a lot of different stuff going on, and maybe some of our favorite books coming out. So that's probably where we came, why I feel like it was still a heavy week. Plus, all those free comic books,
They really add up.
they really add up. So when you're trying to fit those in along with your regular books, it really makes a lot of sense. All right, so let's move into DC's new book. This is capitalizing on
Are we getting ready to pass the movement?
We're ready to pass the movement.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
pretty good with it. I liked it.
You know what?
So why
One
don't you
was
talk
good,
about
but I
it?
really can't wait for number 2.
I like it.
Thank you.
That's funny.
Thank you.
So I feel the movement is DC's answer for the Runaways.
Maybe a little bit, but I also feel like they're trying to capitalize on the bigger 99% type of,
Not really.
99%.
Oh wait, that stuff's actually not for sale.
Yeah, this stuff on the floor is actually,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's-
giving it away. Sorry about that.
No? Oh yeah, no, not for sale.
Anyway, so the movement is actually, I think, more the answer to the 99%, 1%, like big thing that came out last year. All the big, our good friend Josh and everything.
Oh no, those everything else.
Everything
there
else
for sale.
is just on the
yeah,
floor.
Yeah, just that stuff on the floor.
Yeah.
Is,
Anyway, so let's talk about the movement. So the movement is really this.
I wouldn't say
teen-
it's 99%. I mean, it's just a group of kids hanging out.
They call themselves 99%.
Yeah, but they're a group of kids that hang around a block. I mean, they're taking care of their block. They're not the 99%. Like,
No, not John's dad.
Sean's dad.
James asked if that was your dad.
that was. He doesn't know it yet.
Yeah. Steve Holt. Anyway, so
I don't like you, James.
But
You
yeah,
ma-
I really
you
like the
made
book.
list.
The artwork was decent. I don't think it was the best artwork around. It's a very grim book.
show them the artwork. That's what the whole video thing is all about.
That's art.
Yeah, your mother. Stop looking at us there. Look at the camera.
I know. I'm just reacting to James.
So, is this book gonna go far? We'll see.
Do you think it's gonna go far? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you're not really talking about the book.
Well, okay, so here is a group of kids. You get introduced to them one by one, who are part of this block. I guess called the tween block or the teen block, or whatever, because it's like
Yeah,
between,
they're the
Are you
team.
saying block?
because
block,
between
as in,
block
like, city
14
block.
through 16.
Okay.
So this is super powered.
So the cops come to stop them because they
I
hear
told
that
you to plug this
they
up.
find out that there's
got it.
somebody being this someone serial killing people, and now we're like stopping. I don't know why.
Oh no, we're fine. Keep going.
So the
We
serial
have
killer,
some technical difficulties.
they lead him back to
John
this
has
block, and when they lead,
I
they
am
go
part
to
of
this.
9 panel, so we are having
Can you shut
technical
up, John? I'm
difficulties.
going
Yes.
to slam you in the face. They get to this block, and all of a sudden you find out that the church there is part of this 99%, or the movement. So, like I said, again, it's basically the runaways.
Sorry about
They're
that.
kind of like
What do you want? I'm working.
What? Keep on
the
going.
kids can
That
be
was
seen.
an awesome magic trick.
Thanks.
The kids can be seen as villains. I don't know, but like
You know what? Here's the thing. I really do think they were seen as villains here, and that's why I kind of didn't like this book. They seem like they're trying to be the runaways, but they're really painting them as just strong villains, and it's like that's cool, but I don't get any character development here. Like it's like, oh, I'm Mouse, like I'm Lord of the Rats.
yeah.
Cool. Okay, like there's no depth there, and that was my big problem with the book. I don't feel like there could be, maybe these characters are going to become fleshed out over the next few months, but I feel like you're going to have to, with some brand new characters, you really need to give them character development, and you're not getting that.
I say give it time. I think
Stop looking at Instagram. Give me the phone.
All right, why don't we move on to Age of Ultron?
Yeah, because seriously, this wasn't that great. If I'm going to be honest, I didn't think the art
I
really
would
stood
give it- I
out.
would- I would
Maybe
like
give
that.
it a few more issues, but overall, I don't think it's worth your $3.
I think
A
so.
book that is worth your
Or
$3, actually
No.
your $4,
We're here.
would be Age of Ultron.
Yes, I agree, 100%.
So we're dealing with the fallout. I usually don't like time travel stories and stories where it take place in multiple timelines, but this was cool.
Are we dealing with the Fallout shelter or the Fallout?
The fallout of a story
Oh,
at
okay.
the shelter.
Just throwing in on our sponsors.
Right.
Thank you. So basically, we have Wolverine and Sue Reed.
Sue Storm.
Sue Storm.
Wait, what did you say?
Sue Reed.
Sue Reed. Well, I guess no. she is technically
That's-
Sue Reed.
I'm so,
She
she's
is
an old-
married
she's an
to Reed
old-fashioned
Richards.
lady, and she took her.
Well, no, you're still an idiot though. It's Sue Richards.
So if Shani marries you, she'll be Shani John.
Sean and John.
I said Reed.
No, yeah, exactly. You said Reed. That's his
Oh,
first
it's Reed
name.
Richards. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't even swear.
No.
Damn it.
So anyway.
I'm starting to get a headache because I can't.
But alright, so Age of Ultron was really cool. While this was a solid issue, I felt like this did not have the momentum that the previous issues had.
Oh no! Basically, we just show up, and Wolverine and Sue
Just come
Richards-
back from this future.
Yeah,
Or from the past.
They're doing it.
No.
they're not.
Okay.
And they're both arguing back and forth. And Wolverine's like, "Well, you know what? You didn't have to come along with. You could have stayed in the car. You, you did what you did."
You could have stayed in the really cool flying car.
Yeah.
Well, they do find.
I like
a
that
bunch
they
of
get
scrolls.
shot out of the sky as soon as they get back.
Well,
to New
before
York City.
then, they hear something about some Stark Industries.
Yeah.
bots.
Yeah. Well, even look, those soldiers looked like Stark, like Iron Man armors.
Yeah, it
But
looks
like a
like
modified
some-
version of it.
It's actually really cool. At the end, there's some type of reveal that we have Iron Man has become like this
There's
almost
something like
dictatorship.
and he looks
I don't know.
older and he looks bald.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's pretty haggard.
He
Which I
looks
like.
pretty haggard. He reminded me of like Darth Vader
Or
after he
Batman
got trained.
in,
Like whenever Darth Vader would take off his helmet because he had like that perfectly
Yep.
smooth face, kind of creepy. Also, did you see eyeballs?
Ollie's head actually is that big, James.
I'm
You're
actually-
sitting really close to the camera.
I am.
You're not great with the whole live streaming thing.
Well, it's a shitty camera. What do I mean?
It's not. It's actually 1080p.
It's a poor carpenter that blames his tools.
Exactly. Anyway, but did anyone else read this? No? No one read this? Alright. No, apparently no one's reading Age of Ultron. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty solid book. I want to see where this alternate reality goes.
Yeah. Wait, did you see Scott Summers? He had like
No, that's
missing-
Cable. It
That
said it was Cable.
It was
Yeah,
They
Cable.
said,
so,
but they said Scott.
right,
somebody
which is
referred to
why I
him
was a
as
little,
Scott.
which is why I was a little
Is
confused.
Cable also known as Scott, or
No, Cable's not
Okay.
Scott. So I don't know. The back of the book said it was Cable, but during the book,
They referred to him as
For
Scott.
Scott.
So I assumed
Scotty.
he was Scott Summers because he even had like the visor thing.
well, yeah,
But
but
it was
Cable
like
had that.
Yeah,
Scott is his dad.
It was Cable's visor,
but I thought it was just.
and it was Cable's weird arm. I mean, like I don't know. It was.
Yeah,
it,
you
it
know,
was
now
very
that you're
confusing,
saying that, it makes sense.
but I don't know. Maybe Cable's different in the future now.
That could be it.
Because you have.
So you're
Carol
saying in this
Danvers.
alternate timeline, not only do we have all these
Wait,
changes,
isn't
but
Scott
Cable
Cable's
decided
dad
to
anyway?
change his name to Scott?
No, Scott is Cable's father.
That's what I just said. Scott. So there might be like a weird hybrid version of
That's
this.
what we're thinking, yeah.
Maybe.
But what I also thought was a little lame here, if I'm going to go out and use that term,
All right.
is Carol Danvers. It's still Carol Danvers, correct? She's just a colonel now, but she's still Carol Danvers, right?
Okay.
But she has brown hair, and that's the only difference.
She's not
that
a
can come
colonel,
up with
she's
her.
still Captain Marvel.
Fine, it's fine. She's Captain Marvel.
It's Colonel America.
Maybe
Oh,
in
right,
the future she decided to dye her hair because she was feeling a little drab and wanted to change.
I
Is that
guess.
so hard to believe?
No.
That you could be in this alternate timeline and want to change your hair color? Maybe that's the one change that Wolverine did.
Maybe.
I'm down
Guess
with
the
it.
one big change.
Yeah.
I'd do her now.
Well, it seems like Ultron's no longer an
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, I would.
I guess the problem's going to be: do you feel as though like he could actually? It's an ad. The ads happen. We don't pay for Ustream.
Okay, alright. Okay, anyway.
But do you feel as though like this future is going to be better or worse than?
I don't know,
It looks
I
like it's
guess
going to be
we'll see.
worse because it seems like even though we don't have Ultron, we now have this faction, and it looks like Iron Man has. We have Iron Man. They also mentioned another. What was that? They mentioned something else.
Well, I mean, the
So it
Avengers
looks
seem like they
there's a
don't
couple
exist.
of factions.
It also seems that the Avengers don't exist in
that
this
too.
new universe. It looks more so that the Avengers are actually calling themselves the Defenders, which I enjoy because I like the Defenders, but at the same time, it makes some sense there. Anyway, so overall, good book. 4 issues left.
Yeah.
So
And
big
it's
things to come,
awesome,
and it's
yeah.
definitely one of the better Marvel events we've had in a long time. Anyway, let's move on to another book that we have enjoyed this week from Marvel, and that would be, of course, All New X-Men. What is this, number 11?
I didn't really enjoy it.
Oh, see, I really enjoyed
I
this
actually,
book.
yeah, I
It was
liked
just
it
like a bunch
also.
of bickering back and forth. This book is slowed down tremendously, though.
Well, I
See, I feel like you have
not
more
a whole lot
progress.
has happened, like story-wise in this book, but this had like a whole bunch of really.
I don't
cool
know, but I'm saying as
character
far as
moments.
books
like we had
go-
those twins being really cool and creepy.
I know, but I mean
Yep.
like triplets.
The triplets.
Yeah,
The Stepford
The
But
Stepford
what I'm
twins.
saying is like we're 11 issues in. We went through what 11 issues in 2 months, 3 months.
4 months.
Well, that's still a lot,
That's still a lot. I agree with you there.
and I feel like the story has slowed down a bit as the last.
Well,
two
you know what they're doing? We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but they have Battle of the Atom coming up, which is the all-new X-Men, Uncanny X-Men crossover event. I think X-Men itself is going to be in there, and maybe even Wolverine and the X-Men. And it's supposed to reset the X-Men universe of Marvel. So we're supposed to get an end-all, be-all of
Well,
what's
yeah.
happening
Well,
with
at
the
the,
new
well,
X-Men.
at the end of it, don't they meet Havoc in the team?
Well, at the end of this issue, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I really liked about this book is actually the conversation between Kitty Pryde and Jean Grey near the end of the issue.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really well done conversation.
Kitty Pryde was kind of a jerk.
Kitty Pryde was a jerk, but she needed
She had
to
to
be a
be.
jerk.
You have to be tough with
Jean-
Jean Grey because if you
Jean's
don't,
way too powerful
Yeah.
for you to just be like, okay, do what you
yeah,
want.
Jean Grey's way too powerful to be like a teenager who's gonna act out on every whim.
You saw what she was doing to. Who was she doing that to? She was doing that to
Angel, I thought.
Angel, yeah.
Yeah, she was making him not want to go.
Right, and
She
you
was
can't
just-
do that. She's,
yeah,
she's
she
messing
actually
with free,
said,
free
"I
will
will
there.
make him not want to do that."
Right, and you can't be
that's
doing
scary.
that. It's
You
extremely
don't want
scary.
somebody with that power.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
What else happened in this book? There was a good amount of humor in this book.
Yeah.
I like the conversations between young Scott and the rest of like Wolverine and stuff. I really like that one little joke they had in there where young Scott is talking about he's talking to Kitty about meeting Mystique, and he's like, "Oh yeah, me and the hairy guy." And Wolverine's like, "Are you referring to me?" And he's like, "Of course." I thought that
Yeah,
worked
that's
out
pretty
really
good.
well. Anyway, so John, you read a new book this week from Dynamite. Another pulp action figures coming back to the forefront.
Yeah.
This is Brian Bucoletto, the writer of Flash, which you've really been enjoying. This is the Black Bat #1.
is this the Black Batman?
No, just the Black Bat.
It does.
Is
From
it-
the
is
cover,
this
it
better
kind of
than-
looks like that, but they differentiate it.
better
It's
than
very
Black
pulpy. He
Is that his name? Blackwing or Nightwing?
That's Nightwing.
Blackwing.
Batwing,
Batwing.
not Blackwing.
Oh,
not black.
whatevs.
He uses guns. He's not so much
Does
a
he kill
detective. He's
people?
more of like an enforcer.
I'm guessing he kills people if he's using
Yeah,
guns.
yeah.
He uses guns, so he obviously shoots.
Yeah,
people.
he shows up and just.
So is he
starts
like a
to-
Punisher type of figure?
Kinda.
Okay. Does he not really respect the law, or?
Well, no, because he's. How much can you respect the law when you're going out and shooting people? Even though you're enforcing, you're doing good. At the same time, you're still shooting people. You know what? Overall, I don't really. This is apparently a character that has some history, and I don't know that this first issue really did a great job of introducing him. It was interesting. I more liked it more for the artwork was like the best part of the whole thing. Other than that, I was not a huge fan of it. I don't see myself picking it up.
So
again.
it's not a book that Diamond Knight is really like sold you on this.
No.
You're not ready
I mean,
to commit.
It had some interesting ideas, like you have him, like Black Bat is trying to figure out there's some type of drug ring and he's going through. But it's kind of this thing where I've seen it before, and it doesn't feel really all that different from all the other comic books I read with this kind of story.
Right.
So it didn't really differentiate itself enough for me to want to read it.
Is this
again.
Jamfed that you're going to speak about right now?
Yeah, he's telling us that apparently there's a rumor that Bob Kane stole Batman from Black Bat.
This makes sense because when you
They're very
first look at
similar characters. Actually, I was going to say, like, this guy seems a lot like if you took Daredevil and Batman, because actually, I should mention this Black Bat actually has these weird, like, eyes that are designed after a bat.
Okay, so it, like
So
he
that's
can
his
see.
superpower. He can see in the dark.
So he's
really
actually
well.
does have a superpower. Hey,
Yeah.
what's going on, Mike? Pretty good. How you been?
Pretty good. I realized, I know you mentioned free comic book day.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. We're on there, so let me step away. You guys continue talking.
All right.
How's it going?
Did you read Black Bat?
So, he's a Black Batman.
He's not.
He's actually African American. If everybody wants to know.
See, this is why Steve can't leave, because you go off the leash immediately.
Off the leash, do I look like Cecil?
No.
Wow. Anyways, fair amount of cleavage in this book. There's cleavage.
Yeah, that's what you really want to show everybody.
Also, artwork's not bad.
No, that's actually the main draw of the book for me. The artwork was really good. It's just the story I've seen before. They remind me a lot of Batman and Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like if you smush those two together and gave them guns.
Well, he reminds
you
me of the
have
guy. He
Black
looks like
Bat.
the guy. He looks like the guy that's part of Bat Inc. The Spanish one. I forgot the Spanish guy.
Oh yeah, the Spanish Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah. So that's good.
All right.
What's our next book?
X-Men Legacy. Did you read Legacy?
Of course, because it's the best book in the world.
Did you?
I kind of did.
Okay.
So,
This was
Simon
actually-
Spurrier, one of the best dudes in the world. Cool guy. This is also a really good book.
Yeah, this is one. My personal opinion is one of my favorite Marvel Now books.
Yeah.
It's always consistent. The artwork,
It's been my,
artwork is always
it's been my
cool.
pick of the week like 12 times.
Always interesting characters. We have Legion
Yeah.
and his girlfriend Blindfold.
Well, they're not really.
Well, they were a couple. She still has feelings for him.
Yeah.
We have Blindfold, who breaks into, or she goes into the Jean Grey school and gets
The Cereba,
yeah, and then
the Cereba, whatever. I can't say that word.
yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it.
Right.
And
Cerebro?
goes in and is able to spy on Legion without actually him seeing it, and watches him go through his own day. And so we have Legion go into his own mind and deal with that crazy
Version of his father.
yeah, where he's
Who's
pretty much
weirdly gold-plated?
Yeah.
Which I don't
He
really get
wasn't in
this.
the
That
last-
makes sense to me.
He wasn't in the last issue. He wasn't a gold.
That makes sense.
Do you
So,
think
like,
it's because he's
it's-
holding him
he's a
to a higher
golden-
Yeah,
standard?
yeah, he
he's a
does.
golden
yeah.
god.
It's like
Okay,
the
that makes
golden
sense.
calf.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. But I really like this conversation Legion has with this guy near the end of the book. Did you guys talk about this yet?
No, we just got.
So basically, he goes to this institute out in San Francisco, the same institute that provided the Church of the Happy Pill, or whatever it was.
Happy mute,
Whatever it was.
happy whole, happy soul. It's not happy whole.
Whatever it is. Where's our fact check? Where's Aaron? What's his name? Aaron?
We don't have Aaron anymore, or Brian, or Brian's brother. But
You don't
anyway,
have to panic just because Steve leaves James. This is why I don't like you. You made the list.
We don't need Steve.
right. But anyway, when we got to the institute here, we kind of Legion thinks he's just gonna get like assaulted, right? He
Yeah.
thinks like whatever's gonna happen in here, it's not.
Well,
gonna be
obviously they're gonna kill me.
right because they're anti-mutant.
I like that he's like, this is everything is like hipster. Like this is hipster anti-mutant.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice tongue-in-cheek here,
Yeah.
which I really enjoy here. But so you have this figure who's a leader of this institute, and he basically is. Let's just go out and say he's Stephen Hawking, right?
A little
Yeah.
bit.
Right,
You
and-
see-
Yeah, he is. He pretty
and
much is.
he comes across as like this really nice guy, but he seems really dangerous.
Well, that's the thing. He's a very intelligent man.
He's very- He doesn't act.
cool.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't let his emotions get the best of him. He could
He
easily
just
have the
states in
emotions.
very plain terms, like, listen, based on the numbers, mutants are gonna kill us
Right.
all.
Have a good one, guys. Good luck.
No! You're fine.
So,
I am not the store's security measure.
anyway. But anyway, so we have this conversation where he basically gets burnt like multiple times by mutant problems, right? He gets hurt multiple times
Yeah.
for this, and it leaves him very disfigured. He loses his wife, he loses his daughter, and all this stuff.
And then he
Wang.
loses pretty much all his limbs. Does he have one arm left?
I think he has one arm
And then
left.
his face is also burned.
Right.
He also lost his wang.
I guess. I don't know.
Well,
they don't allude to that.
They didn't go into it directly.
Well, I know that for a fact.
I don't know
Yeah.
why you speak so low, though.
Because Seisberger told me all this stuff, and he didn't really
Heisenberger?
say that.
Anyway, so the conversation basically goes, you have a mutant problem, I'm going to fix that, right? And then Legion's like, and he's like, I developed this pill, and I only do it to mutants that really want this pill. Like, they know all the risks, that they're never going to have this power again, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
the
you
big
had
question,
it. It basically just burns out that part of your brain that's able to use it.
Right. So Legion gets to this point, and he's like, it's really reached its climax here, this conversation.
Yeah.
And the doctor says, are you going to kill me? And Legion's like, no.
I want you to
Take my
take
power
the pill.
set.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really solid, like, end to an issue there.
I
It
also
really was an
really-
amazing start to an arc as well.
I also, if we jump back a little bit in the story, when he's talking to his father, I like the deal that he made, where it's pretty much, I'll show you what happens in the future, but I need to be able to control your body for 60 seconds. That's it. That's it. At
can't
any
do
time,
anything.
at any point, you can't stop me.
See,
from
here's
whatever I
my
wanna do.
here's my issue with that
He's gonna
deal.
do so much damage in those 60
Thank
seconds.
you. Here's the issue I have.
There's no way
60
that
seconds
deal-
for a Legion is a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, especially when you can stop time.
Yeah, especially since with all the who knows what kind of powers like his dad has.
Well, and the
inside his
dad
own-
has
like-
actually been going around and sucking up the mutant powers from
Has he?
him too. That's they mentioned that. During
Oh,
it.
okay, I missed that.
Anyway,
That's dangerous.
yeah, exactly. I don't like the idea of I want it anytime I want. I would be like, no, you get it when I tell you you can have it.
Oh wait, so that's the deal?
Yeah.
That's the deal. But
We'll shut up.
But anyway, so let's move on. Keep on with the Marvel goodness, and let's move on to Superior Spider-Man.
I didn't like it.
Number
You
9.
I did not like
I
it.
liked it, but I have to wonder where
So
they're
this
going to be
is-
going after this. Because
So this
there's only
issue,
So now Peter Parker's dead.
well, listen.
No.
This issue
We
is the
never saw Peter Parker die.
Matrix Revolutions issue.
This is the Matrix Revolutions issue.
This is basically
Yeah, I
this
can see
entire
that.
issue is basically the fight between Neo and Smith in the last movie,
Except insert Doc Ock and your mom.
and Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man.
instead
Also,
of
sorry.
Mom.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man's kind of important.
Yeah.
But you know what I think? I really enjoyed this book.
Oh god, it is what that is.
Yeah, you kind of need Spider-Man for the book.
I just meant the Neo Matrix.
No, it's exactly what it is.
It's the third Matrix movie. Oh god.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. So as I'm reading it, I'm like really enjoying the artwork here. Stegman back on the art in this book really works well. I love the way he draws Peter, especially in the darker, more like this is Doc Ock Peter.
Yeah.
Like I think he captures that really well.
Yeah.
I think the story works really well as well. You know,
Actually, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed how, in his mind, Peter Parker uses his family as his strength.
yeah.
And then Doc Ock uses all his enemies and all his bad memories
As his insecurities.
as his strengths.
Well,
and
right.
it's like a good fight between the two.
Alright, so you guys get 4 total.
But overall, I think there's a lot to like about this book. I think the story was really solid. I don't think there was a lot of problems with the book. I understand people like yourself, Ali, not liking the outcome because now what's going to happen with Peter? Is he dead?
I just don't like the. I didn't like the book. I thought it was such a cop-out book.
But how is it a
Why?
cop-out book?
I
But
don't
what's
know.
the? They're
I-
extending the storyline.
I guess.
And also, Peter Parker's definitely not dead.
No, exactly.
This is just Doc Ock thinking he won.
Right. So there's definitely still, a lot of big problems in the future here for Ock. But I like that they let Ock have this, kind of moment in glory, so he can continue this run and actually, maybe now we won't get that Peter in the
Yeah,
background.
that annoying little
Maybe he'll
voice that's
go away
thrown
for a
in the
while.
comic. Yeah, because
Or we'll have more of a split between this is Ock in the real
and then we'll
life,
have Peter Parker trying to
In the
find
mind.
himself again.
which,
Find his own
but,
mind,
but
which would be cool.
less of the Ock interaction.
I'm
which
zoning
I like.
out, guys. Can we move on to the next book?
Really?
You really have the worst attention span of anyone I've ever met, and that's knowing John.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
what?
Can we move on
I
to
don't remember.
Aquadouche?
Aquadouche.
Aquadouche number
We shouldn't
what?
actually call him that here.
Aqua
But-
D.
Aquadouche.
Anyway, so we got Aquaman number
The
19.
D.
Now this is another one of the, of course, DC fold-out covers. Now I actually really
BWTF.
the W2EF covers, which we're not apparently calling them.
Which one is this? Aquaman versus who?
It's not Aquaman. It's Aquaman is a servant of
The
the
Frost King.
the Frost King. So
The
basically,
Or the Ice
King of
King, I don't know.
Atlantis.
Yeah.
So this issue was actually incredibly solid. We basically had this part of Aquaman now, where after the King of or Throne of Atlantis storyline, we're having a little bit of a problem where the momentum maybe not as strong as it was, right?
Well, because you don't have like a singular thread anymore.
Right. But so basically they get a little, you have the same artist here, but you have these amazing first few panels where basically Arthur's there and he has a conch and he calls this one gigantic sea monster. And you turn the page from the first page and he calls this, sea monster, and it's just a gorgeous first full page spread. I'll show you there. It's amazingly detailed.
With a sea monster? I mean,
I'm not going to make out with a sea monster, but
Well, if
basically,
you're gonna make out with a sea monster, that's the sea monster you want to make.
I guess we're going to do that. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Can we do Godzilla instead?
no.
I mean, if you're gonna pick sea monsters.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna be picking the monster,
He's a nuclear monster. He's not a sea monster. He can live on land. Matthew Broderick told me to. Told me so.
He did not.
But then we get a really we
Yeah,
get we did. Come on, watch the movie. Anyway, so we have this great scenes between Herc or Merc. Merc is the character who's basically Orm's right-hand man. That's basically been Arthur's biggest problem since he came to Atlantis, and he's still trying to break Orm out of jail. We have a great scene with Orm on land talking to his lawyer, which is really solid. Now I know you haven't read this yet,
No.
but
Is his lawyer Michonne?
no, his lawyer is not Michonne. But
You're just,
this is really the first part of a new arc that really begs for new readers to come
It
on.
begs for a whole new book.
No, this book's still amazing. You get a lot of really great intro
cares.
into the character.
Ollie, I agree with you on. I don't really like Aquaman,
I think
but
the-
Jeff Johns is doing an amazing job.
I think
Right.
the Atlantis of Marvel is better than the Atlantis of DC.
How?
There
'cause
really
it is.
hasn't been any focus on. the
Because you have
Atlantis.
Namor, and
Namor
he's
is the
never.
badass.
But they never show Namor in Atlantis.
But he's a badass. So.
But he's kind of an asshole.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you need.
But anyway,
If you live in the water, you're gonna be an asshole.
Yeah.
is that like
Dolphins are ace
fact?
asses.
Well, they rape humans, so they do actually.
Can't
Look
use
it
We
up.
can't use a rape word.
Yeah, we
I
can't
think we're
use-
good right now.
We can't use the D word. We can use the R word. Really?
Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
right? High five.
Thank
bro.
you.
Anyway, but you should definitely pick up Aquaman. If you haven't read it so far, I highly recommend at least getting issue 19 forward. It seems like it's going to be a great arc, and we'll go from there.
You know, if we're doing this video thing, we might not never be able to go back to just audio.
We might have
We
to keep
can.
on. Yeah, I'm going to go back to audio because that means I don't have to wear pants.
Cool.
So that's
Got
good.
Really
No, it doesn't.
quiet here.
Anyway, so why am I keep on introducing the book? You
'Cause
can
I
introduce
didn't-
it.
I didn't read
Fine,
it.
you
Oh,
introduce it. You talked
Iron
about it.
Man.
Show. You are bad at. You want to do this video thing.
I thought
all
you
the
had. I
time.
thought you had them up there.
No, remember we got screwed up.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
So Iron Man number 9. Actually, I've been hating this whole Iron Man shit for like the longest time,
swearing.
and then the last couple of issues have been really good, and this one was really. I don't know why this is a secret origin of Tony Stark, because it's not really an origin story.
No.
It just shows him. So we start off with him. Basically, his galaxy. What was it called?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
His little Guardians of
He's
the
good
Galaxy.
at this.
Yeah.
His Guardians of the Galaxy suit, and he's paying this guy.
Speak.
He's paying this guy. What's his name? Is it Death Head?
Yeah.
And
Death's head.
Death's Head, who's basically gonna take this guy named 451, who's been like killing people, and he's like.
He's been committing genocide across the universe.
So basically, he said we're either gonna kill him or
a
take
bad
him in.
dude.
A good guy.
He's a very good guy.
Yeah.
So he was like, we're either gonna take him in or kill him. Death's Head's all right. They go there. It's a cool little teamwork. I don't know. I never saw Death's Head before, so
No, I think he's a new character, and I think it actually is a cool character because he's basically an automaton, a mech, basically. But he's a mech who's programmed and maybe has a little bit of sentience to be a bounty hunter.
yeah, he's like a Boba Fett.
That
He's
sounds
basically
kinda cool.
yeah, and he's gigantic, so he's like really intimidating.
Oh yeah, actually, I did read this for like I was able to read the first quarter of this. So I saw
There you
that
go.
guy. He was pretty.
So
pretty cool.
we get there,
Can you
and
sit back?
oh my god,
And like you're not good at the
Oh, you shut up, Steve.
stop bleeding in.
Steve, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Will you? Will you?
God damn it.
Stop touching me.
Anyways, so they go to 451. They find out the 451 actually paid off Death's Head
Right.
earlier, and
Which is a great little problem there.
but 451's not really gonna kill Tony. He's like, I just gotta show you something, and he pulls open this like old ass like
Film
this
reel.
film reel, and
Yeah.
he starts showing him his dad, and he looks, and his dad looks to his right, and it's friggin'
451 sitting there. So this isn't so 451's talking about this big plan that he's been going on for years, right? And then you get this, and it's like, oh my god. At first, when we started seeing this video being played, I'm like, oh my god, Tony Stark's a robot.
Yeah.
That was my thought. I was like, holy crap, Tony Stark has been a robot this entire time.
My God.
And that would be really cool. You know, but at the same time, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to have a little bit of an intrigue here, and I'm actually on for this arc. I find that this arc's going to be a really solid one.
So maybe 451's his mom.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what's the best part of this book, though, I have to say? Is the art.
Well, I'll
The
tell you
art change on
something
this
right
book
now.
from Greg Land. Greg Land, if you're watching, which you're not, don't make comic books anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what's the best part of Free Comic Book Day?
Well, no, he can do comic books as long as he just if he gets into like a Transformers comics where it's all Transformers, he's good to go.
I guess so, yeah. I would rather Greg Land just go away, though.
I think me and John just saw the best part of Free Comic Book Day.
That was a good part of Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You're a good part of free comic.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You are as well. You're welcome.
There's lots of love going around here at the Fallout Shelter.
I pay it forward.
It's not all man love too.
What?
What?
It's not all man love.
It's mostly man. We can
Anyway.
call it something else. You know what?
Did you read the Digsters? Or the Digsters?
I did it. The Diglisters.
Okay, so
or
let's
as
talk
I
about
call
this.
him, D-list, also D-money.
Give you a bag with stuff in it.
.com.
.com.
Anyway,
No. That's all I got so far.
All right, well,
can you
guys,
answer James Richardson on his latest?
while you guys do that, I'm using the bathroom.
Okay. Anyway, so Action Comics Action Comics has been incredibly solid since last issue. We had Andy Diggle coming on for one issue because he
Oh
was
my
supposed to be
God.
writing this.
That was such a great issue too.
No, it really was.
And it was set up the first arc without Grant Morrison so well.
No, it really did.
And it was actually, it felt like the exact opposite, where Grant Morrison was like this really convoluted story that really didn't make any sense. It took place across different timelines, different verses. Where this one is just like a simple story between Lex Luthor and Superman.
Yeah. No, yeah. It was basically what they were setting up. What I really liked about last issue was the Lex Luthor, like, psychosis, basically. Like, he's just completely lost his mind.
That was so
And
cool how he had his
he had his
psychiatrist
psychiatrist locked
that
up.
says so much about you.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, well, we'll come back tomorrow and see how your feelings change. It's like, you're becoming more of a sociopath. And that's exactly what she's saying. She's like, you putting me in here and telling me to change my mind of what I think about you is even
crazy.
is even more crazy than you locking me in here.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. This issue continues that, and it's actually really solid. It says it's written by Andy Diggle. It's not. So that's a shame.
That's
But-
a nice. I gotta imagine the Digster or D
D-Money.
Money doesn't really appreciate that.
Right. But we had this great conversations between Superman and the woman who saved him from falling from the sky when his arm was turning into this alien.
Yeah.
Right? And we talk about this a little bit, and she basically reveals to him that she captured him, caught him, and saved him by dissecting the arm from him. So basically, Superman's back to normal at the beginning of the book. So
Okay.
you don't get any more about that.
Okay.
But then this Superman interacts with this arm again. That's basically about that was trying to overtake him earlier, and you get this awesome fight scene between this monster that morphs into a Superman-like being and Superman. And Superman's basically
That sounds pretty cool.
yeah, and this woman is basically like, all right, well, what are we gonna do? So the woman sends both Superman and this being to a red sun area, or
Okay.
like a red sun zone,
Okay.
right? And this red sun zone is basically to tamper Superman's powers.
Okay.
And they find out that his genetic makeup, that the monster's genetic makeup, is the same exact thing as Superman. So he's also affected by the red sun. So their big plan is, let's send this monster out to a
Place where
galaxy
it's gonna-
and be a red sun and be depowered.
Yeah.
So overall, it's a really solid story. Really great. I wish this was going to continue with Andy Diggle, but you can't always get what
Now,
you
is it
want.
the same quality as the first
Yes.
issue with Andy?
Yeah, it really is. Now we have a backup story in this, which I think is even better than the main story. This is
Written
actually
by the same guy, or-
No, this is written by Scott Lobdell with art by Frank Hanna, and we have this really great world of Krypton, where we have basically the beginning of the downfall of Krypton.
Okay.
So this is something you've always really wondered about: how did Krypton fall, right?
Uh-huh.
So the story basically reveals that Jor-El, Superman's father, is basically this young up-and-coming scientist, and he's found this underwater ruins of the first men of Krypton, basically.
Okay.
First, like, sentient beings. And he's also supposed to be at this council, this security council, meeting about this, the way they're going to distribute funds, basically. And he's like, screw it, this is cooler, I'm going to go that. It's revealed at the end, though, that basically this secret meeting is basically about the uprising of Krypton's own to take down the world. It's a really great idea of how you do this.
Have you tried any deck building?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I used to do that.
James, you're a funny guy.
Also very racist.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so that's Action Comics. Let's move on.
All right, we're up to Hawkeye.
Hawkeye?
Hawkeye.
Pizza Dog.
Pe-
Right?
Pizza Dog.
Pizza Dog's in the issue.
Oh, right. Pizza Dog.
So we have an art change on this. So that's it's really hard when you go from such an amazing artist like David Aja, or Asia, however you're gonna say it, to someone even who's recognized as one of the best in the industry, Francisco Francavilla. And you're always like, but the structure of this book is made for David Aja, right? So it's like, what are you gonna do here? So, Ali, you read this book, correct?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it? Or you want to stop looking at your phone and at the books?
I'm actually reading Action Comics, so
Why are you reading it now? You're reading it before the
not
podcast.
make it awkward. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't really appreciate it, but whatever.
You have to lean back.
All right, just talk about the book, bro.
Dude, bro, remember that
Why are you
song?
getting so sad?
The Lean Back.
No, I'm not sad. I'm
by
annoyed.
Big John.
Anyway,
Or Little John? Big... Who does that? Who does the
lean back. I think it's Big Joe.
Big Joe? Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a rap fan.
All right.
But
I'm
anyway,
pretty proud of myself for getting that close.
You should be. Anyway,
I was
so,
a syllable away.
So basically, at the end of the last issue, we had the death of Grills. Sadness, right? Everyone was really sad. At
Grill
the end of this. Grill guy. So this basically picks up with that, giving us a backstory on the clown killer that we saw, right? So the clown killer is actually at this party with Kate Bishop, and he strikes up this conversation with Kate Bishop, and he's talking to her about his life and how he's from this place where it's basically war all the time.
He has like a weird name, like Kolasin.
It's a very Eastern European name.
Yeah, the colors on this book are amazing.
The colors in this book are outstanding. You're right. They really do shine, and they really do bring vibrancy to
I
this
also like
guy's
the
life.
fact that the panels aren't like traditional panels.
No, it's a very unique layout, and I think it works really well for this book.
Well, actually, they've been known for that. I think Hawkeye,
Yeah.
a lot of Hawkeye's
They
been
always
known.
take a little risk with the
Yeah,
artwork.
yeah, it's just the layouts are great. I mean, like they're all over the place.
But so basically, the book alternates between stories of the clown killer's life growing up in this Eastern European world and how he had to kill to survive and basically become
He
a
had
bad
a
guy.
kilt?
Kill to survive. Sorry.
I thought he needed a kilt.
No kill.
He
no
needed
kills.
a kill to survive. One man against the world.
That would be a
That's the
great
Braveheart
pilot.
tagline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should just been Braveheart. It's just Mel Gibson's quest to find a kilt.
Well, maybe that could be the sequel.
That would be great. Anyway.
Let's start working on that.
Yeah. Anyway, so it alternates between his life and this conversation that he's having with Kate Bishop about his life and how it's tough and how do you enjoy your work? Do you enjoy your line of work? Blah blah blah. But we don't know it's the clown killer throughout. But bits and pieces throughout give us this idea. And then at the end of the book, we had this conversation between Clint. This is a really Clint-less book.
Ah, okay.
All right. There's really no Hawkeye in this at all.
No Hawkeye at all?
No Hawkeye at all, except for the last few pages. And he basically has this blowout fight with Kate. And she's basically like, what are we doing? Like, you can confide on me. Why aren't you confiding in me? Like, I'm here for you. And he's like, you don't understand. I'm Hawkeye, blah, blah, blah. Right?
Yeah, he said it like that too.
But anyway, so what's revealed in the last page is that conversation that Clint and Kate were having is actually the conversation that Clint was talking to Grills about at the end of last issue.
Okay.
And then we come back to that. He walks away, and the clown killer comes, and he kills Grills. So it's basically, this is a prelude to the
See what
last
happened.
issue.
Okay.
So the storytelling aspects of this are amazing. And they're basically telling 3 concurrent stories in one issue, and it works incredibly well. Matt Fraction does an amazing job of this. Francisco Francavilla, I'm really glad he's on this arc. It works incredibly well. And, but yeah, so that's basically where we're at with that. I don't know why we have our theme song playing for State Your Case, but
I think we should jump into State Your Case.
we don't have State Your Case, though. No, it's going. Just leave it. Anyway, so, what?
It's almost over. We're talking about the song.
It's over.
Yeah.
I think we should have just taken that as
So, all right, I have a question for James. James, why don't you want Clint to end up dating Kate
I
Bishop?
think he wants Kate Bishop. for
Do
himself.
you want to date Kate Bishop yourself?
She's not real.
She's not real, James. Hold on. Why are you talking to him if we're asking him questions?
Well,
He's going to
'cause I'm-
respond.
Well, because anytime I can put him down.
Anytime he can put you down. Good job.
Anyways,
What? He shouldn't have, he's the one who got himself on my nemesis list. It's a short list, and you're on it.
Am I on your nemesis list?
Yeah.
So who else is on your
Can we
nemesis
not-
list?
Ollie's cool.
Ollie's cool. That doesn't tell me.
What's next on our?
We only have one more book, so I'm trying to drag this out.
Why? I thought we have a bunch of other stuff to talk about.
We do. All right, maybe we should get going. All right,
All right, let's move on.
ladies
to
and gentlemen, last book.
Batman and Detective.
I haven't
Batman
read that.
Detective Comics.
Am I the only one who read this one too?
Yeah.
Am I the only one who did my homework this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had.
pretty much.
Good job.
I read
So
the other. I
Batman
read
De-
the other Detective Comics.
All right, so I agree with you, James. I think the mentor relationship that Kate has with Clint is really good, and I think it's a solid
Yeah, the
storyline.
mentee-mentor relationship.
But I also like the awkwardness between them, and I don't want that to go away. So I agree that I don't want it to happen, but I like that type of tension. And eventually it's going to have to come to
Yeah.
pass, or else people are going to get really pissy.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, Plushie's mine. Good job.
I recalled it though. I
Yeah,
recalled it.
you're right. He's a weird guy.
Hawkeye.
No, James.
James. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Detective
dude's
Comics is
weird.
the end of the Emperor Penguin story arc, and I have to say I won't get into much detail because I know you want to read this. And
No,
there's
you,
a lot.
you can
Dude,
spoil
just
it for me.
spoil
That's
it.
fine. I didn't do my homework. I got that coming to me.
All right, so you know how Emperor Penguin's basically been making these deals with all the villains through Gotham and basically holding them for like, you're gonna do this for me, or else I'm gonna do this to you.
Yeah.
So the reason he's been doing this is because he's been building the serum that he's injecting into himself to build like this superhuman serum.
Okay.
And he turns into a bat, mixed with a penguin, mixed with bark from a tree, and that's Poison Ivy's contribution.
Okay.
So
That sounds kind of
and
terrifying.
add into the fact that he also has taken venom, the same type of venom that Bane takes.
Okay.
So he creates this weird version of himself that you see here on the cover, and he is just as devious and just as dark as you would expect him to be. He's incredibly strong. He's basically impenetrable. He has all the instincts that Batman has,
Okay.
and that the Man-Bat serum will give him.
That sounds
And
pretty terrifying.
he is the worst villain that Batman's ever faced, and the greatest part about this is Batman underestimated him. And he even talks about how he underestimated him because he was a lackey for Penguin and never took him seriously. And you get this great backup story where you get the story behind why Ogilvy turned into Emperor Penguin and why he wanted to do this. And I don't want to ruin that for you because it's really amazing. But anyway, the art here works incredibly well. Jason Fabok is really coming to his own on this book. John Layman writes to Fabok's strengths, and it's really, you can tell. This creative team is really clicking on all cylinders in my mind, and I don't want to,
Emperor
while-
Blackgate?
Now he's Emperor Blackgate at the end.
Yeah.
So we'll get into more of that, and I want to see where this goes, but I really like the idea of Emperor Penguin, so I'm kind of sad that it went away so quickly, but I think they did it in quite a effective...
Well, he's gonna come back though.
Yeah, I like that they did it in an effective way, and I really like the way Cobblepot acts towards Batman near the end of this book.
Yeah.
So you have to get to there. You'll really enjoy it. I think this, if we were to have a regular podcast this week, which we aren't, guys, we're having an Iron Man 3 review podcast tomorrow morning, so look for that going up.
Yeah.
This would probably be your pick of the week.
Yeah.
It's that good. Really a solid book, and really something that I look forward to every month now, back to back. And I like the way DC's publishing this as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, we're going to take another scheduled break. We'll be back in about 3 minutes this time, and we're going to get into some of our favorite countdowns. Stick with us.
Later, bros.
Keep the Walking Dead one? Now follow it? Okay, that's fair.
And welcome back, guys. So we're going to do a little bit of a different thing here. We actually have a Twitter question that we wanted to answer. You're on
Somebody
the HDMI
tweeted at
cable.
us?
Yes, should tweeted. Someone tweeted at us. So basically, the question is: we have a huge Superman fan. You want to pull up the guy's name? It's a long name, so I don't know if we can say it. I don't know if I can say it. But anyway, so
I thought you were going to say, like, we can't say because it contains curses.
no.
Well, it's Frangelo Villanueva, and he asks, "Hey guys, I'm a really huge Supes fan. I've been into comics lately, but I don't know where to start. New 52, maybe?" I would say yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the New 52 is a good place to start for Superman. What I have to say is, I wouldn't start at the beginning with Action Comics #1 because it gets that
I would say
storyline's really
All-Star
interesting.
Superman is the best story
Well,
to pick
I
up.
think he's already an established Superman
Okay.
fan. He's
He's
trying to
just
get back
looking for, like, a
into
new
it.
series?
Yeah, so I would say one of two things.
I would
Number
hop
one,
on Action Comics, actually. With
Right now,
pick
Action
up,
Comics?
the first issue with Andy Diggle.
that'd be
and
issue
then
number
just-
18.
And then 18 and 19.
Yeah,
And
18
then
and
just see
19
where
are
it goes
definitely
from
where
there.
it would go. So I would say 18,
I
19,
would say
and then the biggest.
Stay away from Action Comics, Grant Morrison era.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's
But
too
here's my
convoluted.
thing, right? I would say that you should be reading the new Scott Snyder Jim Lee book, Superman Unbound, that's going to be coming out in a few months.
That would
maybe even
that looks
next
like
month.
it should be cool.
But
I think it's
why
actually
would
going to
you
come out
wait
next
that
month.
long?
Because it's only a month.
You said a couple months.
Yeah, it's gonna be next month with the launch of Man of Steel, and you don't go wrong with the creative team of Jim Lee and Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
So I really can't imagine this book's gonna be bad at all. So that's where I would recommend going. But anyway, we're gonna get into what we're gonna call here our State of the Capes. And State of the Capes is basically gonna be our year in review of comics and where we think the industry is at this point. We're gonna talk about the winners, the losers, and some of the surprises. So the first thing I kind of wanted to bring to everyone's attention is kind of Image, right? Image to me has really been.
Well, we talk a lot about it.
We talk about a lot about
Yeah,
Image,
but they've been having
but
an
there's a
awesome
good
year.
reason we talk about
Yeah.
Image.
Hopefully they'll ship it.
So
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like we do talk about it a lot, so that means they're doing a good job.
right, you speak up.
Okay, thanks.
Worst case scenario,
Anyway,
I see
so Image has put out a lot of good books this year. Not only do they have the solid ones like Walking Dead, Chew, and let's say Invincible, right? They don't have, which by the way, Walking Dead and Invincible both hit 100 this year, so congratulations to them. But not only that, but they have a lot of these amazing little miniseries that keep on coming out. They had Planetoid this year, which was one of my favorites from Ken Goering.
Yeah, that was really cool.
We also had, what else did we have from them? We have Five Ghosts, which is a great new adventure
Anything
book.
Curtis Weave.
We had Happy, which was not that great from Grant Morrison.
It was okay. There was some spotlights to that.
You know what? Maybe reading that in a trade, it would read better than
Yeah.
just single issue.
Maybe.
I can understand
You
that.
know what it is with Image, honestly? They are the company that's taking like a lot of risks and telling like unconventional comic book stories
Bless you.
that really work.
Yeah, no, you're right. So
Like that's where like you'll just see an artist or like a writer just go off.
Right, yeah, exactly. So basically, you have this free will to do whatever you want, and then you're getting these stories like, say,
Saga.
Oh my god.
So I guess Image wins for that, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but then you get these really nice self-contained miniseries like something like Happy. While it wasn't like maybe everyone's favorite, you have this great self-contained story that's gonna fit a niche, and that's why Image is kicking so much ass this
Oh,
year.
okay. Peter Pan's for Falls.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
what about it?
No.
That was just-
Oh,
Series.
that's Jam Fab. Yeah. Peter Pan's are false again. Awesome. So they have a ton of great miniseries. They have a ton of great ongoings. They're getting these amazing creators, picking them from Marvel basically, and bringing them back to Image. I think the biggest one here, and the one that we really enjoyed the most, is Jonathan Hickman. Not only has he started his new one with East of West, he has this probably one of the top 3 or 4 books of the year in Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just always an awesome series, always off the wall. Something you wouldn't find. You couldn't print something like that with a DC or a Marvel.
no, of course not.
But
they
you,
have-
you have Image where you can do it pretty much wherever you want. They give you carte blanche.
Exactly. So that's really working in their favor. Now, these kind of creator-owned books are also working for other companies too. IDW continues to win with some of their creator-owns, especially the one that I really find that I enjoy the most from IDW creator-owned wise is Lock and Key.
Yeah.
Lock and Key this year with Omega has been incredibly solid. There hasn't been one issue that I've looked at, and let me say this: there's never been an issue of Lock and Key that was bad.
No.
Ever.
Yeah, I never got into it.
But you need to really
should.
try it.
It's awesome.
It's really solid
Yeah, no,
stuff.
it looks really good.
But anyway, so Lock and Key is really hitting on all cylinders. We finally got that announcement that we're going to get final 2 more issues.
Which is
here.
gonna be awesome.
Yeah, a nice big wrap up here, which is going to be a solid way to go out. Not only do we have really good stories from IDW and Joe Hill, I feel as though horror books in general have really hit their stride here. We have Revival, which is a really cool noir horror. It may have had some issues, but I think overall they've developed a nice, solid fan base there.
Yeah.
And I think not only that, they've opened up the door for some of these other horror books to come in. Not only horror, I think the other genre that's really shined this year
Sci-fi.
has to be sci-fi.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I can rattle off books after books after books
Yeah.
of great sci-fi. Even you get stuff like Captain America win sci-fi.
Yeah.
Right? And it was great. Well, it has been great.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah,
continuing.
it's been one of the better books.
Right, exactly. So sci-fi is really hitting on all cylinders, and I don't think that you can really fault Marvel for taking advantage of this sci-fi,
No.
like boom, because it's working really well.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel now in general, even though I don't like the publishing pace for a lot of the books,
Right.
overall they're telling like a bunch of really cool stories.
No, yeah,
And
I
it's,
agree.
But those
changed the
stories are
art.
coming at you 10 at a time.
Yeah. It is a little much.
So let's talk about Marvel now. There are some really big highlights to Marvel now.
Yeah.
Right? There's Captain America, like we said. X-Men
is one of my
Legacy.
favorite.
We also have, the staples. Hickman's runs on Avengers and New Avengers has been pretty solid.
Yeah, Fantastic Four and FF have also been really
Fantastic
cool.
Four and FF.
Hawkeye.
You know what I think the biggest takeaway for me from Marvel now, and I actually thought about this a little bit last night, is that Marvel really used their talent well.
Yeah.
Is the way I'm really looking at this. They looked at all their creators, their top flight creators, their up and coming writers, and they were basically like, we're gonna give you these stories that we think fit the best mold. James, you're right. Avengers Arena is really great, and they use Dennis Hopeless, the writer, in such an amazing way.
It's a cop
Wait,
out
who
of
brought
Battle
up
Royale.
Avengers Arena?
Dennis Hopeless.
Oh.
He's writing a great story, and you have. I understand that some people may look at this as a cop out for Battle Royale, but I think the story and the kids that are in the book are compelling enough to characters.
I personally I don't like teenage books. I usually
Although I did
don't
love,
read them, but
love
this is
Runaways.
awesome.
Runaways was great, and I thought Avengers Academy was really good. I understand how you can be apprehensive towards this,
Even
but there's
Wolverine and the
enough
X-Men is a
character
teenage
development that's not whiny teen stuff.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, they feel like actual characters.
they feel very fleshed out. The deaths feel very real, and they feel like they actually hold some weight to them. And there's always a nice amount of
No, that
intrigue
series
there.
they opened up with like a big death you didn't think was gonna happen. It reminded me of like Cabin in the Woods, where they used like the horror stereotype against you. Like you think, oh, this is gonna happen, and then this happens.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, you want to throw some pins over there?
Yeah, I don't know why they're being hidden.
What are you guys doing?
We're live streaming Free Comic Book Day. We have a podcast, 9-panel, and we actually are sponsored by the Fallout Shelter.
Hey, trivia.
Yeah, let's do trivia. We're actually going to take a break from State of the Capes, and we're going to jump into some trivia. So enjoy. You going to do the trivia?
No, you can do it.
All right, I'll
Well,
do trivia.
we should also ask people to do it.
All right, so
Well, how many people do we need?
we just need Mark. Do you want to announce it, or do you want us to?
We
All
can
right.
do it back there, where there's people buying.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
4 for me. 4 total. After you do that, I give you that. You can take whatever you want from that top table with last year's stuff.
All right, guys, just to let you guys know, we're going to do trivia here. We have a bunch of good stuff to give away. We have Dark Knight Bus. We have
Bust.
Bust. No.
I thought you said busts.
Oh, I only have one to give away. Fine. We have Superman toys going on. We also have some awesome Green Lantern stuff. We have the Big Bang Theory party game. So there's a lot of good stuff. So why not play, right?
And you get
So-
a chance to be on the internet. Yeah.
Internet. First hand I see that goes up with the correct answer is going to get it. So I'm sorry if you lose. I mean, I wish I had toys to give away though. So let's start with the, let's name 2 out of the 3 identities, the real identities of Ant-Man. There have been 3 different characters who have been Ant-Man. Right there.
Hank Pym and Scott Lang.
Done.
Well, why don't you come over here and get on?
Yeah,
Get
why don't you
on.
sit down?
Get on the YouTube.
You want to ask some questions, John?
No.
Yeah, you're going to ask some questions.
What questions am I asking? I don't.
Ask you about comic books. How about
All right.
that?
So,
There you go,
what series? What's your favorite series currently? Or do you read comics?
I do read
Currently.
comics. I would say my favorite currently. You know what? I don't know. It's actually been a while.
All right.
Been a while since I found something that I actually
Alright.
really liked, but probably something in Marvel. Usually X-Men,
Okay. Yeah, I can get behind X-Men. That's
or
pretty
one of the many
serious.
books.
Yeah. Are you reading all new X-Men?
I am reading all new X-Men.
Are you reading Uncanny X-Men as well?
I am reading that as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah. The book that keeps coming out.
Yeah,
Every week
yes,
I feel
it
like
is.
that book.
Yeah.
Comes at least like twice a week. So
But you might want to ask him his name and,
Oh yes. What?
There you go.
My name's Steven.
John.
Nice to meet you.
Ask him
His
if he has
name's
a full
Steve.
list.
I.
Alright, how about we do this? I'll ask questions. So do you,
Yeah.
is Fallout Shelter your normal comic book shop?
Yeah, generally I come here.
Alright, so you have a pull list with them, or?
I don't actually. It's
Alright.
hard for me to get over here sometimes.
Understandable,
but, yeah.
understandable. And it's Free Comic Book Day like a holiday to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So basically, it's like you look forward to this all year long, and then when it comes, you buy lots of stuff,
Yes.
and then you look at your bank account and you feel bad about it.
Well,
Oh,
hopefully
yeah.
you got your tax return.
well, there's a lot of free books. So
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, man.
And before you go, let's. Oh, it's not live, so you won't see
No,
it.
it's live.
Well, I'm saying I can't see it live. This is for you.
Thank you so
All
much.
No
right,
problem.
guys.
Oh, that's so
Ready?
Thanks for being a
Second
nerd.
trivia.
Thank you so
Remember,
much.
first hand that goes up with the correct answer is going to get it.
We should give out a pin with everything.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
we
good
should probably
idea.
do the prizes first. So I have a Batman Dark Knight. Yeah. What is it? Lead figure. So it's actually really heavy, really nice weight to it, and actually incredibly detailed. So it's good stuff.
You can hit someone in the head with it.
Yeah,
So,
it's got a dual purpose.
all right, ready? This voice actor has voiced roles for Batman the Animated Series, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City. Boom. Hamill is one of the answers. We've also accepted Kevin Conroy. Mark Hamill, actually, if you want to
Give him a
sit
pin
and
with
get on?
God, you're gonna actually express this.
Alright. So what's your name?
Arun?
Is this your regular comic book shop?
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically, okay. Theoretically, do you have any series that you currently read?
Yes, Saga.
Oh, awesome. Big
Saga's
Saga
amazing.
fan.
Saga's
and
huge.
Wrestle by Jeff Smith. He
Yeah.
did,
I don't think
no,
I- he
Rascal's
did-
amazing.
he did
It's
Bone. He did Bone.
Yeah,
but
Bone's-
this is his more. Well, it's not towards the family audience basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
It's got to do with time travel and Tesla.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Those are my two.
Alright, cool. Alright.
That's about it. That's all we need.
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Did you give him a pin?
All right, guys, ready to move on? You only need to ask me two
All right.
questions. All right, guys, this one's actually for one of the big guys. And if you've won, I'm not going to pick on you unless no one else knows the answer. Okay, we'll go with that. So this is an awesome Green Lantern set, Sinestro and Hal Jordan, with some great little pieces of Lantern in there as well. So, Scarlet Spider lives in which U.S. city at this point? Ron, no.
New York City.
Wrong.
You don't have
Anyone
to yell
else?
it.
Yeah,
You
right.
don't have to yell wrong.
Wrong. Houston. We got a winner. Yeah, Houston is correct.
Nice.
So congratulations. You want to go take a seat and feed him on? If not, you can just take your toy and go. Awesome. He's getting the Green Lantern toy.
Anti-self, so just like me.
There you go, man. Enjoy. Awesome.
Read that. Why don't you turn it around? Here, let me put that in my bag.
All right. We have, of course, everyone's favorite Archer, Green Arrow, or maybe not. Maybe everyone likes Hawkeye, but whatever.
Well, answer the question.
Everyone's favorite DC Archer, right? So, or maybe it would be Roy Harper, who knows? So you get this awesome Justice League figure. Actually, this is a really solid line. We've really been enjoying it.
Yeah.
So, Silver Surfer is the herald to who? Anyone else? There. Galactus.
Got it.
You want to come on through and take a seat, be online for a bit? Go right ahead.
Damn, I wanted that actually.
Enjoy, man.
What's up, internet?
What's going on?
Well, welcome to the internet. I've seen you
Thank you.
before.
Yes, I'm quite familiar with the
Cool.
internet.
Is
The
this-
internet.
So is this your regular comic book shop, the Fallout Shelter?
You know, I think it is about to become it.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
you know.
Are you currently reading any series?
Yeah, I was actually reading through the Green Lantern. I was trying to come
Are you
in
reading
today.
anything good?
Not yet. I was trying to come in today and find The Killing Joke, actually.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
Because I've never read it.
It should
and
be
I
up
hear
there
it's
in one of the
phenomenal.
shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
You ever read The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller?
No, they
Another
saw
really
that. They
good
have
one.
that
I
over
would
there.
suggest
though.
picking that
okay.
one up.
Yeah.
It's awesome,
Fair enough.
like like a future Batman story.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
All right.
really cool artwork.
Solid.
Yeah.
Very
Well, congratulations, man.
Well, thank you very
And
much,
before you
gentlemen.
go, here's a 9-panel pin for you.
Thank
Complimentary.
you. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, you too.
All right, guys, we got another Green Lantern, or Green Arrow, right? Same thing. So, we got another question. This is an easy one,
Maybe.
hopefully. Superman's Kryptonian name is? Anyone?
Oh my god! Katie!
Not you, Ron.
Dude, we just got it!
All right, I'm going to give 5 seconds before someone... What?
Wait,
No?
wait, she
Close.
knows, she knows.
Close.
We got
There you
one
go.
over here.
Oh, here. Kal-El. There you go. Very nice.
Would you like to come on the
Would you like
internet?
to jump online?
Or
There you go. Congratulations.
so, what's your name?
Anna,
All right, and what did you just win?
I got
A Green Arrow. Cool.
Very
is
cool.
this your Fallout? Is the Fallout Shelter your comic book shop, or
yeah.
do you read any series lately?
Not really.
Okay.
I come here a lot though.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Do you have like any favorite characters you like or anything like that?
Nightwing.
Nightwing's
Okay,
awesome.
Nightwing's cool. I don't read a series. I'm more of a Batman guy myself.
Nightwing
cool.
was Batman.
I understand. No, he was Robin, you idiot.
No, he was also Batman.
I hate when you're technically correct.
The best kind of correct.
You bastard. Alright, well, I hope you enjoy your gift, and for coming on the internet, you get a complimentary pin. No
Thank you.
problem.
So this is a limited edition of 6,000 Batman busts from the Dark Knight movie. I actually have wanted this for quite some time, so I'm very jealous of whoever wins.
Can we just knock out all these people and take their kids?
Okay.
You know you're talking about.
Name Wolverine's children. There's two of them. Got one here. Second. Who's the next one? Or clones.
X23.
X23.
Alright.
There you go. You want to jump on? Or you don't have to. You don't have to.
it?
We're
shooting
live stream.
We have a podcast called 9 Panel. We do it twice a week, and we're sponsored by the Fallout Shelter. If you want to jump online,
Just say hi.
just say hi. He'll ask you a few questions.
Definitely.
So, what's your name?
Alberto.
John, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Ali.
Hello.
Is this your comic book shop that you shop at? Or?
This is the first time I come here actually.
Nice.
Okay. Do you read any series currently?
I read Wolverine.
Okay, cool. Which one? Wolverine? the
Well,
X-Men?
I read it in Italy, so it's different. They just match together all the books you have here, and they come out
Wow.
6
okay.
months later.
Oh, wow.
So everything is spoiler here for me.
You're like in the future, basically.
Yes.
Nice, you're time traveling as well as country travel.
Yes, then when I
That's
come
very
back, I give the truth to all my mates.
Nice. So you're gonna distill the knowledge.
Yes,
Nice.
the knowledge.
That's cool. That's cool. That's very cool.
Very cool. And thank you for coming on. And here's a complimentary 9-panel pin to bring back to your country.
From the future.
Tell them about us.
Okay. Thank you guys.
No problem.
All right, guys, we have another lead figurine. This is of Jason Todd, my favorite Robin. Actually, that's not true. Tim Drake's my favorite Robin, but that's neither here
Wasn't
nor
he
there.
beaten to death by
the Joker, correct. And the amazing style. It was actually the readers, you guys, told Jason Todd that he should die. And that's why they killed Jason Todd.
That's-
That was in the 80s, though. So, interesting enough. But anyway, this is another easy question, so get ready. I need you to name the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't get it. Right there.
Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo.
There you go. Congratulations. Awesome. You want to
Would
be
you
online
like to
real
come on the
quick, or-
internet as well? So what's your name?
Stephanie.
Nice to meet
Is
you.
this your comic book shop or are you a comic book?
When we come to a comic book shop, we
This
come
is
here.
the one you come to? Okay. Are you reading any series currently?
I read Hellboy when I can get on it.
Very
Okay,
cool. Very cool.
I've never read anything.
That's
All
a
my
really
knowledge
good.
of Hellboy comes from the movies.
Hellboy.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
Probably
what got
shouldn't
me
say that to a
interested.
Hellboy fan.
But,
Yeah, Hellboy's really good though.
yeah.
Cool.
Very nice.
Well, I thank you for coming on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nine
that was,
panel
I
pin.
was gonna do that. Jesus.
Gotta be ready.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Should be reading
You guys can
Hellboy
also
too.
give us cards, too. We have cards up. You know that?
Cards are
Right. Yes. Thank you for yelling.
right. All good.
Yeah, making us look like.
All right,
assholes.
guys. We have one of 2, so if you don't get this one, there's a chance that you get another one. This is Doomsday and Superman. This is actually great. It also comes with the Death of Superman actual comic, so not a bad deal, right? So this one, I'm declining your girlfriend. I have one here for you.
Oh, your girlfriend.
Who is the Scarlet Witch's twin brother? Right there. Quicksilver. Come on in.
Nice.
Would you like to be on the
What's that?
internet?
Sure.
All right.
I saw it. I was like, yep, that's the one I want.
That's the one. Glad we can accommodate. You can see, enjoy yourself, man.
What's going on, man?
How's it going,
Ali?
guys? Thayard.
John.
Thayard. What's
Nice to
up?
meet you. So is this your comic book shop?
No, actually, I've never been to the fall.
Well, now it should be.
That's fine. We can leave. We got plenty of those. Do you have a regular shop or?
I've been down to Serendipity on East Ave over there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like it, and
Is
they
that
have
the
ice
place-
cream at the same time.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
the one that's off the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They don't know what that means on the internet.
Well,
It's
it's
just
alright. It's a
Rutgers.
point of reference for me.
It's Rutgers.
Yeah, it's Rutgers.
Do you have any series you read currently?
I'm trying to get into the new 52.
Very cool.
Okay, cool.
I heard it's really good,
Yeah.
and
Batman.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, Batman's
Yeah,
awesome.
Batman.
The whole run of Batman. Like,
Really?
Absolutely amazing.
yeah, it's actually been really cool.
Cool. It's very
If you
good.
enjoy
Yeah.
Batman at all, it's great. If not,
Yeah.
check out Superman Unbound, coming out next month. Scott Slater, the writer of Batman.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Jim
I heard
Lee.
about it.
So that's
Avoid
great.
action
Brainiac,
comics
yeah.
like the plague.
Okay.
Free comic book day, you guys.
Yeah, you just go line up over
Yeah,
there.
just solid up in line,
Yeah.
and they'll get you taken care of.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where it starts.
But yeah. So thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
Here's a pin.
Awesome.
For Night Panel.
Thanks.
Man, nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Nice meeting
everything,
you
guys.
too.
Enjoy your Superman action figure.
Oh, no problem. And hop on the podcast if you want to.
I will.
All right, guys. So we have
actually,
3 more to give out. This one's actually the one I wanted the most.
What?
These
So
cards are kinda
once again, I'll be jealous of you. This is Alex Ross. He's one of the amazing comics that does a lot, or amazing comic artist who does a lot of painted work. He does masks right now for Dynamite, and it's a really solid series. I would check it out. It's 14 big prints of this. So I want this. I want to frame them. So I don't like you if you win it. But
You
anyway,
seem to not like a lot of people.
I
who
don't
win
like
these
many
things.
people. Anyway, so this is a Marvel question, just to solid you down a little bit. Who is the king of Wakanda? I need the actual name, and I need his alter ego. Right there.
Black Panther.
There you go. We got a winner.
Nice. I like how you said it with confidence.
Go, man. Take a seat. Enjoy.
How you doing?
John,
What's going on? Ali.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
so is this your comic book shop?
Now it is. I didn't know you guys was in the area until I looked you
Oh,
up.
nice.
Yeah.
Free comic book day, bringing the people together. Do you have any series you read currently?
In and out. I'm trying to keep up with all the DC stuff.
Okay, like the new 52?
The 52 and before the reboot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What's your favorite character?
Currently Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now he's the man right now.
Have you been reading Action Comics with Grant Morrison? I just want
I'll be honest, I haven't read the Grant Morrison All-Star Superman, but I did saw the DVD. I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was actually. It stood up pretty well.
Yeah. I can't wait for Superman Unbound to come out.
Yeah, that looks really cool. Well, thanks for coming on, and for your troubles, here's a business card of ours and a pin.
All right, thank you very much.
Not a problem, man.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, keep it coming. Actually, I only read it for the first time, actually, last year. And I think one of the best ones. Oh, we have more?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We have.
All right, guys, we have 2 more to go away. Just to let you guys know, if you're a little confused, I'm Steve DeFeo, the host of the 9 Panel Podcast. These are my cohorts, my co-hosts, John Lord and Ale Bomar. We host a podcast online. You can find us at 9 Panel anywhere on the internet. And,
Not anywhere on the internet.
Yeah, basically
Specifically
anywhere.
at 9 Panel.
Specifically at 9panel.com or on iTunes. Make sure to check that out every once in a while. And we're the official podcast of the Fallout Shelter. We're going to try to do more of these type of deals in the future. So look forward to that. We have the second of the Superman Doomsday sets. This is a great one, so hopefully you win it. This question I think is a little bit tougher, so we'll see how it goes. Who is the famous father of Lock and Key author Joe Hill? There you go. We got a winner. You want to come on? Sure. Come on around. So if you haven't read Lock and Key, make sure to find the trades here. It's one of the best horror series that are out right now. You want to take a seat? They'll interview for you first.
Did I stick you? John.
Dan.
Nice to meet you.
Ali.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
So is this your comic book shop, the Fallout Shelter?
Not exactly. I'm from Hillsborough.
Okay.
I go to Somerville out there.
Okay, yeah.
Fortress.
Okay.
But every store has limits. So I went to a store in Flemington, free comic book day. You can only grab 1 book.
Oh, wow.
I went to Somerville. You can only grab 3. So I'm just making the rounds, checking out.
Oh,
all
nice.
these
Yeah,
comics.
we did that last year, too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So are you a Joe Hill fan? You've been reading Lock and Key?
I've heard a lot about it. I haven't.
I would
checked it
totally
out.
recommend it. It's a really awesome horror series.
What would you compare it to?
I don't know if you can really compare it to anything.
It seemed like Morning Glories, like
Yeah.
thriller, suspense type stuff.
I've never really. Yeah, it's a lot of horror.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me a lot of a Stephen King story,
But, like,
told in a
visualized.
told in like a different type of style.
Cool,
Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't seen Iron Man.
I'll definitely look for it now, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
definitely look it up.
recommend
A couple of trades out for it too.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
thanks for coming on.
Awesome.
And here's a card and pin for your troubles.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot,
Nice
guys.
meeting you, man.
Yeah,
Enjoy
likewise.
the rest of your day, man.
Thanks a lot.
Awesome. All right, guys, we have one final giveaway. This is the Big Bang Theory party game, so you might enjoy it. I don't know if you like Big Bang Theory. Maybe you do. I personally don't. Whatever. Anyway, I have a really hard question, so maybe someone will get it, and if you do, I'll give you a high five as well. So,
So they're going. The question is for the game and the high five.
This question is for the game and the high five.
Okay.
What is Tony Chu from from Chu, the Image series? What is his ability, and can you name it? I don't want what it is. I want the actual technical name of it. Anyone? Going once, going twice. You don't get it. No. Give you a chance.
He eats dead people.
He does eat dead people.
Close.
Well, they don't have to be
That's
dead.
not his ability. His ability is actually a psychopath.
Yeah.
He eats things and he can tell where it came from and how it's going to go in
Do
the
we have
future.
another question?
Yeah, we
We
have.
do have another question, so I will go on further. But if you haven't read Chu, that's
Recommend
one
it.
of the best series out there.
Dead people to get, to
Get information.
Now we can
Yeah.
take from that table.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Want to do another
Let's
one,
go
just in case?
with this one.
Oh, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
This is the last one.
A lot of people here that can go to Bone Town.
What?
A lot of people here that can go to Bone Town.
All right, I have
know,
another
we're
hard
live.
question. Let's see if anyone's a really big fan of Wolverine. What is the only sword that can take down Wolverine?
Wow.
Excalibur?
Close, but no. Oh, I'm not really close.
Why would you ask a
I love
harder
it.
question?
All right. I wanted to get rid of some of the hard ones, see if we actually had any true fans. All right.
That's a good point.
Here's a better one. Who is the creator of the Vision? There you go.
Ultron.
Nice.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
it
yeah, it
is.
is. Right,
You're
right,
right.
right,
Well,
right.
man.
Awesome.
Oh, then I did write
Hank
it
Pym built
wrong.
Ultron and Ultron banged
All right.
built
Get the
Vision.
Magnus high five as well.
Oh, yeah! All right, you want to sit down?
No worries.
All right, guys. Thanks
Did
for sticking
you say
around.
Ultron banged
We're 9
Hank Pym?
panel.
What?
You
Make
said
sure
bang
to
Hank
follow
Pym.
us online and
No, I didn't say
Yes,
that.
you did. You
There's no
started
way.
saying
stay tuned
that.
for
You
more of
started
this
saying
stuff
that.
coming in the next month or two. Thank you very much.
So
Do we have anything else to finish up and see here?
Just
we were
events.
talking about Marvel.
You had 2 phone calls.
No,
All right,
we-
guys. So, thank you very much for sticking with us. I hope you enjoyed some of the trivia. Anyway. So, yes. Yes. Like event-wise or like books?
Like, oh, don't play.
It's okay. No more giveaways today, unfortunately.
He's like, Mommy, I want that one. I'm like,
You know what'd be fun though? They actually just did a new.
this is not one of the free ones.
They actually just did. They redid the. There you go.
This is a collector.
That's awesome, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks for paying it forward.
Thank you.
That's great.
Oh, that is so. Thank you so much. Oh my god.
Awesome.
I've got her.
Oh my god, you just made this thing.
Awesome.
Alright, so there, you gotta.
All right, so
That's what he keeps saying. So we looked at the $100.
I keep on telling that to my mom too, and she keeps on saying no. So
I'm like, that's not really fun. Like maybe your papa would like that.
there you go. Well, enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy the books. No problem.
Monkey goes in. Say thank you so much. And go over to that man over there.
It's very good.
I'll come with you. I'll come with you.
I don't know what this means.
Okay.
What is fake Uncle Jared?
Just say okay. Ali says he's in. Whatever that's for.
All right, guys. So let's finish up a little bit of the.
Events of the year?
Well, let's go to the events of the year. So right now we're in the middle of Age of Ultron, right? So Age of Ultron is this big universe-changing event throughout the Marvel universe that's really seemingly going to change things in an actual real way. Like it's not just gonna be one of these events where it's like things are gonna change and then nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
We actually feel like we're gonna actually get some solid forward momentum and change in the Marvel universe, which is tough to come by, you know? Anyway, so I've really been enjoying this event, but what I like about what Marvel's doing right now is the way they're publishing Age of Ultron, it's going in a really quick fashion, so it feels like the event's not bogging down anything.
No, and it's actually very nice and well contained.
Right, exactly.
Like there's some spin-offs, but they all make sense. So some of the publishing times are a little
Publishing times are a
weird.
little strange, but overall it's pretty solid. What I like about that, though, is it leads time for the future, and that's in this summer we have Jonathan Hickman's Infinity event, which is going to be coming out. Yeah.
that Jean Grey? My daughter wants to find out.
Well, sorry?
Is that Jean Grey?
Here?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been reading Extermination.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been reading Extermination.
It might be Jean Grey, but it's I know they
Maybe
do
it's
like a bunch
Rachel
of different.
Grey?
Yeah, maybe. One of
Could
the
be
Phoenixes,
Rachel Grey.
one of the Phoenixes.
Yeah.
Jean Grey's daughter, or with the Jean Grey's daughter?
Yeah, it was Jean Grey and
Or
Scott
the-
Summers' daughter.
Or no, what did the other chick? I don't know.
I don't know. He's been with too many girls.
Anybody knows? We don't know.
What is that?
So we're recording a podcast right here. So when we record this, we put it up on the internet, and people can listen to what we've been talking about.
Mommy and Daddy are going to be on the internet now.
There you go. You'll be famous. You can actually, we're going to post it on YouTube, and we'll send out a link. So go to the Fallout Shelter or FalloutShelterComics.com, and you can subscribe to our newsletter, and you'll get a link, so you can go and check it out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's in the Fallout Shelter newsletter?
Yep.
Yep.
There you go. Solid. Perfect.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
You got it.
Let's talk about Infinity a little bit here. We talked a little bit about. There you go. Nice. Good job.
Girl.
Oh, well, then you're just cheating.
Okay.
All right, so Infinity.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. What do you think Infinity is going to be?
I have no idea what this is
It
about.
seems really cool. We have like some type of. We bring in the cosmic side and the adventure side together.
Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, we also get Nova in there. And what I
It
like about
seems
this.
like, well, Marvel now is just bringing out all their cosmic side, and they're getting it ready for this event.
Yeah, we also got Thanos.
Which I'm not really as excited.
Okay, we have an awkward silence.
Do you have, are there any deals today going on? I can tell people are asking.
We just have the hardcovers. We're selling marked down. At
The essentials.
Are $1 each.
Oh, cool.
You guys can keep on talking about Infinity.
Well, I really don't think to talk about because.
So what I like about this book is that you want to.
Don't pull the shelves.
So what I really like about this book here is that they're melding all of these worlds together, and all of the stuff that's been happening in Avengers and New Avengers feels like it's going to come to a head, which I think is a really solid way of doing things.
Yeah.
I feel like they've been really building this in a great fashion.
Yeah.
And I like how, you know, I've always been a Hickman fan, so knowing that he's going to write this entire event, I'm really stoked with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really solid way to go things. You know, overall, that is probably my the event that I'm looking forward to the most. No, Ali, you've been reading Harbinger Wars from Valiant.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about that comparatively to, like, say, Age of Ultron?
Well, Valiant has like 4 books and they're all coming together in one place. So like Age of Ultron is like one book though. So I
Okay.
mean, you don't have to worry about your other books. So it's gonna be crazy. So this could be a big gamble for Valiant because this could be a really this event could fall flat.
Right.
Or it could really just be one of the best events of the year.
Right.
So we still got to see because I mean if everyone
It hasn't really, like, picked up yet. It's only one issue in, right?
Well, yeah. Then you're gonna have Harbinger Wars is gonna lead into their biggest event, which is gonna have Harbinger. It's gonna have Archer and Armstrong, and it's also gonna have what's your other book?
Archer, Harbinger, and Deadshot, or Bloodshot.
Yeah, and Bloodshot.
Bloodshot.
So they're all gonna meld together. So we're gonna see how this really works. This might be a good idea, it might be bad. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it actually has a solid footing.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the first issue?
yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. And you read all the tie-ins, so you feel like that's essential in this book.
It definitely is essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have to. If not, you're not gonna know what's going on.
Right. Understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so Valiant's really been, to me, a big win this year.
It has. It's
We didn't talk about it during State Your Capes, but I think it actually has a nice foothold on their niche.
Well, I think the end of 2013 is gonna be good for them.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Absolutely.
But my problem, they also have another mini event that's going on, just in a solid book though, and that's Exo Man of War's Planet Death.
Yeah.
And I've really been enjoying that as well. I think Planet Death has been a really solid series so far.
It has.
Or event. And thank you very much, James. James, always good hearing from you, and enjoy your party. Anyway, so over in DC we have the biggest thing, right?
Go on, sir.
How's it going?
I'm going to interrupt that.
No,
No, it's fine. Go right
Pick
ahead.
up your books. You can pick up books over there. If you
Yeah.
want.
So, Infinity, while Marvel has Infinity this summer, DC's gonna have their Trinity War.
Yeah.
Now, for the past year, we've been getting teased in Trinity War, and I've always thought it was gonna be about Pandora, Phantom Stranger, and the Question.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought that was gonna be the issue. It turns out that it's actually gonna be the Trinity is also not just the Trinity of the Stranger, our Question, and Pandora. It's also including the 3 Justice League teams. So we're getting a Justice League Dark, Justice League, and Justice League of America tie-in books here. I've liked all 3 of these books.
Yeah.
Apparently, we got someone who does not enjoy it. Which one do you not like? Dark?
I enjoyed Dark.
What part of Dark don't you like? Or have you been reading it since Jeff Lemire take over?
Yes.
Yeah?
Stealing the Vertigo characters and making
Yes.
Constantine a superhero.
All right, that's understandable. That is very. So, were you depressed when Hellblazer went away?
I mean, it went on for too long.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not. You know,
It was a good book, though.
It was a good book. They had like good arcs. But
Right.
Yeah.
It's just
It ran its course.
300 or 250, 300 issues.
Yeah, it's 300 issues. Yeah.
You're gonna hit a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just the concept of when Constantine himself in the early part called them wankers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can say this on your podcast.
No, I
It's
understand.
fun.
Like, you know, like, there is
And then, you know, it kind of goes and he becomes,
a hero.
yes.
Yeah, I can understand that. So I'm guessing you're not going to be pulling for the Justice League Dark team here. Now my question is, with the Justice League Dark and the 3 different Justice Leagues coming together, how is anyone... I know the Justice League of America was built to take down the Justice League, right? But honestly, you have Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, Cyborg. How are they going to... Come on, who's going to take down them? Let's be honest here. Like, let's put it realistic. You're not going to have a team that's going to be able to do this.
That's good.
Right? So we'll see how this goes. It should be a good time, and I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think DC needs another event.
Yeah,
I think
I
they've
was
really
actually
been lacking.
thinking like there hasn't really been a DC event.
The one event they had, which I thought was really great, was Trinity, or was Throne of Atlantis.
Yeah, but it was so self-contained. It felt just like
Yeah.
2 issues, like 2
It
books
felt like
just
4
having a story together.
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
One question.
Yeah, of
I think
course.
I'm on a tangent. It's got to do with DC publishing.
Yeah, so no.
What do you think of Vertigo going down to almost nothing?
It's depressing. It really is.
I was looking at the wiki page, and they have 5 current.
Yeah, I mean, you basically.
That's it.
Well, Valiant's coming
I
up,
was
Vertigo's
looking
going
at to
on.
see what I can get into, and there's 5 books.
Well, I think there's
5 or 6, but that's it.
Yeah.
I think there's a boardroom type of mentality that they have with Vertigo right now. It's not making money. It's hard to keep printing that type of stuff, and we're not getting any money back because it's not totally creator-owned, but it's somewhat creator-owned. So they're losing money there, and they realize Constantine they can bring into the New 52. Maybe people won't like it, but Hellblazer was almost anywhere.
they dismantled Vertigo though. Yeah.
Right, and then they lost series like Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
Why the Last Man finished a while ago.
Yeah.
You know, and you have these other stories. What was the Scott Snyder one? American Vampire. That's still going on, but I think they might move that to DC.
It's gonna move to DC. Yeah.
So I think they're just trying to compact it. It's depressing because some of my favorite stories came out of Vertigo, especially Y. I know everyone goes back to Y, but it's really one of the best comics that was ever produced. Ex Machina was incredible as well. I
never read it.
You know, it's another Brian K.
By the
Vaughan.
same guy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's basically it's about this one guy who becomes a superhero and he's able to prevent half of the September 11th attacks.
Okay.
So he's able, and then basically he retires from being a superhero. I think this is my.
Wait, does he become a politician?
Yeah, he realized
okay,
that
I
he
heard
can,
about
you
that
know,
series, but I never
he
read
can
it.
probably do more as a politician.
Okay.
Right.
That's an interesting concept.
But it is depressing that Vertigo's going down this route. But at the same time, I understand DC's motive.
That's what I was, you know.
Yeah. So while there's a lot to be sad about, I think in the long run it might work better for them.
Yeah.
And you also see stuff like they can't maintain Vertigo series right now. Saucer Country, right? Saucer Country was really bad.
I haven't read it, but
It
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
great,
so good at all.
but at the same time, a series like that could have caught on in Vertigo 5 years ago. Vertigo just doesn't have the readership. Their readership's abandoned them and gone to Image. So that's what I feel.
Yeah.
But thank you for the question.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
Awesome. All right. So, did I have any more events that we need to talk about?
No.
Oh, yes, we did. We have one. So, we talked about it a little bit earlier. We have X-Men Battle of the Atom. This is going to tie in Wolverine and the X-Men, All New X-Men, Uncanny X-Men. Okay, so all of this is going to be tied in together. And this is finally going to be the end-all be-all of what's going to happen with the original 5 X-Men.
Okay.
And that's the whole big story here. And what's going to happen with Xavier's legacy.
That'd be cool.
I would love to see legacy tie in here, but they're not going to do that.
Yeah, well, I think they've been doing like a lot of cool stuff with all new X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, and I like how they have, even though it can be a little bothersome reading it week after week, I do enjoy having that story connect the two of them.
What? I wasn't listening.
I do enjoy, even though all new X-Men and Uncanny, they come at you with a lot,
right?
And it's a little tiring. I do enjoy the storyline that's tying them both together.
Apparently, we made it to the homepage.
Yeah, apparently we're on the homepage of Ustream, so Welcome, guys. It's Free Comic Book Day at the Fallout Shelter in Highland Park, New Jersey. We're 9-panel. We host a comic book podcast twice a week. Once on Tuesdays to bring you what's good on Wednesday, the new comic book day. And we also have one every Sunday where we sit down and we talk about the favorite books of the week.
Right,
we also
and
go
you
over
can't
some
see
news.
it at home, but we also do wear the black polos.
We
on
wear
the
black
podcast.
polos, so we feel good. No, I don't wear black polo.
It doesn't get any better than this. Just
Anyway,
so you guys know.
I actually have a request from people in the
I always wear my black polo.
on the internet. I can't really look at what's going on in the Rangers game right now. So if you can, please let me know what's going on in the Rangers game right now.
Did somebody
our new...
I believe the Rangers actually fell
It's
into
actually
the ice.
0-0 at the end of first.
0-0 at the end of the first. Thank you very much, Ollie.
They were
Anyway,
playing on a pond and they actually all fell in the ice. It was a terrible tragedy.
it's a terrible tragedy and everyone's dead.
Yep.
That sounds like something that would happen in a comic book.
Yep.
Speaking of comic books, I have to say Battle of the Atoms seems to me to be probably the best, or the event that has the most promise here.
Yeah,
it does.
well,
I
there's
feel
also
like
a
there's-
lot of build-up.
Right, so we've been building this up for since the launch of since the launch of Marvel Now, and I feel like there's definitely a little bit of steam going into it. Rather than Infinity, I feel like there's steam, but it's so confusing to bring these different ties
Yeah.
that it's going to have to do at least 1 or 2 issues to get that rolling.
Oh, definitely.
I feel like with Battle of the Atom, you can just jump right into it and
Yeah.
you're already solid.
Yeah, well, because you already had the built-in readership from all the X-Men
Yeah,
Uncanny.
absolutely.
Right, exactly. Anyway, so let's move on. Let's move on to the summer blockbusters do better than the video store chain. And go take a break.
Hello Kitty story.
So we're actually going to take a 2-second break and we'll be right back with about the summer blockbusters and our top 5 superhero movies of all time. Stay with us.
Enjoy Free Comic Book Day.
All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you for sticking around with us. We are 9-panel at the Fallout Shelter for Free Comic Book Day. I'm the host. Yeah.
You're not the host.
Well, I'm a host,
You're a host.
Steve DeFeo, and with me today, of course, are my co-hosts. This would be John Lauren. You can see by the lower thirds.
Howdy, folks.
And then we also have Ali Bomar over here.
What's going on? What's going on, fellas?
Yeah,
And
and ladies. But anyway, so let's get this started. So we've talked a little bit today about the week in comics, about the events that are coming up this year. We did some trivia, and we also did a little bit about the Free Comic Book Day books. Just to recap, the three or four free comic books that you should really be looking out for this
I
year.
would say Infinity.
Infinity,
The
Superman DC one-shot,
uh-huh.
or maybe a one-shot.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
That can't be a one-shot. There's no way they'll leave it at a one-shot.
You will see.
Yeah.
And then we also
What's
have,
the other book?
I don't know, what?
I can't really think off the top of my head. Where are the free comic books?
It's the Star Wars Dark
Star
Knight,
Wars.
or it's the
That Dark Horse sampler.
the Dark Horse sampler. You'll see it's a really awesome white
See, was that so hard?
white cover with Darth Vader on it. Make sure you get out there to your local comic book shops and support them. This is a great day all across comic books, and we're really excited to be here. And we want to thank the Fallout Shelter for letting us come in and sponsoring us.
Yes,
we really
I also
appreciate
would
it.
like to thank our corporate overlords.
Yes,
I don't have them.
all hail our
You know-
corporate overlords.
I'm an overseer, not a slave. Too soon?
This person, Cookie123190, thank you. I appreciate it.
You are all nerd. You.
Yeah,
What are they saying?
I think you can see what they're saying.
No,
Anyway, so let's jump right back into it here.
Well, they look like they're like bored.
And thank you everyone for the updates on the Rangers game. I really hope it's like 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 Rangers soon. So we'll go with that.
no, I'm pretty sure all the Rangers fell through the ice. I'm telling you.
That would be bad. Anyway, so let's go into the summer blockbusters that we're really looking forward to this year. So over the last few years, we've seen an incredible uptick in superhero movies, right?
Yeah.
Like just
because
and not only an uptick
we
in
have
quantity.
Marvel, we have Marvel and DC both coming out with quality titles. Like
That's the
DC
thing.
has really struggled since like the Batman franchise came out.
Since
in the
Joel
early
Schumacher
90s.
ruined everything.
Yeah, since the ruining of Batman, like DC really struggled. They actually they really haven't had like a good DC movie until Batman Begins came out. And then you had the same thing with Marvel, where you had just like all these really bad titles coming out. You had like your Daredevils, your Spider-Man 3s,
Yep.
coming out and just ruining franchises. Like we had Daredevil was a franchise that was ruined before it even started. You had Spider-Man.
Unfortunately, yes.
And then even like X-Men, The Last Stand killed the X-Men franchise. You
Kelsey
had
Grammer is great in that
Spider-Man was
movie.
killed, like the Spider-Man franchise.
Well,
was
he's
killed
gonna be
by
back,
three.
right?
Yep. Yeah, apparently Kelsey Grammer is just cast as a villain in the Transformers movie.
Yeah, but
So-
he's not like he's like a full-on like human character.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I can get
well, I
behind that.
understand.
I love Kelsey Grammer. So,
Yeah.
Kelsey, please come on the podcast. We would love it.
Yeah, KG, come on.
You know, you're not doing
The
anything.
Rager Cager.
We can pull like a really cool heist like you did in 30 Rock.
He did?
Yeah, the best friends game.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed out on that.
Anyway, let's talk about Iron Man 3. So Iron Man 3 came out last week, or yesterday,
Yes.
I should say. And reviews have
Actually,
been...
it came out last week. We're
I
actually
saw it already.
podcasting from the future.
We're podcasting from the future.
I saw it. It was great.
So, I've heard some
Why are we
very...
talking about it? I thought we were talking about films that are coming out.
Well, these are just all summer blockbusters.
Oh, okay.
So, Iron Man 3 came out, and there's been some really mixed reviews here.
Yeah, I had heard like some people say it's the best movie ever, and then I heard other people saying that it's trying way too hard to be the best movie ever and doesn't succeed.
Right.
I thought it was.
So anyway, there are people that are saying, I feel as though the comic book nerds, the readers of the comic books, are having a hard time kind of getting around this. We've heard it at the shop today. People are somewhat enjoying it, but they feel as though the Tony Stark mythos has kind of hit a wall. So I kind of understand that, but we'll see. We're going to go see it, and we're going to do a review podcast that's going to go up tomorrow on our stream. So make sure you subscribe on iTunes, and we'll talk about that.
Give
and
us
we'll
a
see.
5-star review.
Give us a 5-star review. Why
We'll
not?
kill you.
I'm not going to kill anyone.
Or we'll kill you.
Anyway, so let's talk about the Wolverine.
This is communist
John,
Germany.
let's do a little pro con here. You want to see this movie? You do not.
I don't. I am
Tell
done
me
with,
why you don't want to see
I am
it.
done with you, Jackman, being Wolverine.
Who else do you want to be Wolverine? You want to play
Anybody.
Wolverine?
He's terrible. He's been terrible since like Last
terrible.
Stand.
Terrible. I mean, no, I agree. I feel as though him being this character has kind of worn
it's
thin.
no longer you Jackman being Wolverine. It's Wolverine being you Jackman.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not. I don't like him that much.
Well, you guys are horrible people. You guys should all die.
Well, you should probably not.
What are your feelings on the Wolverine?
So why should we want to watch Wolverine?
Because it's a whole reimagining. I mean, it's gonna be.
Yeah, but you know what the problem? Like, I'm sorry, you can go.
James Mangold's doing it. It looks really good. It's taking up a story that we haven't seen in like a really long time. Actually, I don't think we've actually ever seen this story before. And it's finally like Wolverine's getting what he wants. He wants to be mortal again.
But at the same
And he's
time,
in Japan.
But at the same time, it's Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, you can't erase the taint of X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, you can.
Or
You saw-
X-Men
you can.
Wolverine Origins.
So you saw X-Men
Yeah.
First Class. You like X-Men First Class.
Yeah,
but that didn't have him
had
in it.
Very little. And
Or
the
if it
part
did
with
have-
Hugh Jackman in it, I hate it.
Yeah, that 1 second clip I really did not enjoy.
I did.
And I really can't get the taste of... The only part of X-Men Wolverine Origins that was halfway decent was Liev
Ryan
Schreiber.
Reynolds. Yeah.
No, Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth.
What
He
movie
was
did
good.
you watch?
But anyway, let's move on to the Pacific Rim. Now this movie I am
That looks pretty
incredibly
badass.
interested in. Guillermo del Toro does a monster movie
Yeah.
with
Guys.
mechs.
Thank you. Like,
And it's the guys from Sons of Anarchy, basically. Making
Right.
up the cast.
Ron
and
Perlman.
Charlie O'Day.
Yeah,
Charlie Day.
Charlie Day.
Charlie Day's in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Idris
He's
Elba.
the scientist who invented the machines.
Right. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
So Idris Elba's also in it, who's one of my favorite actors right now. He is one of the coolest voices ever.
Yeah.
And if they cast him as Black Panther, I would be totally down with that. He's a
Yeah.
little too old, but I would love it.
Not really.
But anyway, I can't imagine
It's
that this
also
movie's...
crack.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're being racist today. I'm going to err on the side of caution and say you are.
Right. Anyway, but let's move on to... Well, anyway, we all want to see Pacific Rim. There's not really...
Yeah.
I feel as
It
though...
looks awesome.
I feel like that's a movie you need to see in theaters, too.
Yeah.
If you don't see that in theaters, you're really
It
missing
also
out.
has Charles Miner.
It does have Charles Miner in it.
From The Office.
It does.
But that's also Idris
That's
Elba.
Idris Elba.
Who?
Idris Elba, the guy we were just talking about who
It's his
played Black
African
Panther.
name.
Okay. I don't know his name.
Good job.
Yeah.
I kind of
Anyway.
coast to this thing. I don't really pay attention.
Right. All right, let's move on to the movie I'm actually looking forward to the most. And this is Elysium.
Is it coming out this summer, though?
It's coming out this summer, near the end. I think it might be in September.
What is
this? Is
this?
the follow-up to Noah Baumbach's District 9.
No. It's
Okay.
not the follow-up.
Oh, wait, it's a
is this
completely
the-
separate story.
This
Yeah.
is, does that Matt Damon?
This is the Matt Damon as, like, the robot guy.
Okay.
Well,
So
he's a
basically-
human that gets infused with the robot.
Right.
parts.
So this story is basically about there's Elysium, which is this high-class world where all the high class lives, and then there's the lower world, which is where Matt Damon lives and
Yeah.
where all the poor live.
Rightfully so.
Right. Well, of course. And then basically the story just looks like it's an uprising, right?
Yeah.
But from the pedigree of Matt Damon, the director of District 9, the writer of District 9, and Charlito Copley is also in
And
it.
who else is in it? Who's that chick?
I forget who the girl is.
Not Ellen.
Ellen DeGeneres?
Ellen Page.
No, the one who came out as a lesbian this year.
Jodie
Foster.
Jodie Foster, yes. Jodie Foster is in it. Yeah, she came out at the
Right,
or
at the
whatever.
speech.
Yep. Anyway, but we're all looking forward to that. A movie I'm not looking forward to, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I feel as though this relationship has worn thin. Is After Earth.
Yeah.
This is, of course, the
Is this the Will Smith?
Jaden Smith movie.
Yeah, no thank you. I don't want to see your nepotism on screen.
Right. Well, it worked really well in Pursuit of Happiness, but I feel like this movie is just
he
like
was like
cash
8
cow.
years old.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like this is
You
a
couldn't
cash
really
cow.
go, yeah.
Stop making movies so your kids can have a career, Will Smith. And get back to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
If we can
when
have
is
a
that reunion happen?
Listen, if we don't get a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion in the next 3 years,
We're
I
going to hold
might.
the internet hostage.
Yeah, we're holding the internet and NBC at fault. So I blame you, internet, and more so I blame you, NBC. So you better get on it.
Ron says hi.
Hi, Ron. That's our comic book guy, Ron. Anyway, so let's move on to Thor: The Dark World. Now, this isn't coming out until November, but the first trailer did hit about 2 weeks ago.
And it looks pretty bad.
And it looks pretty badass. Let's just go out there and say that. It's Alan Taylor, who is the director of a lot of the greatest Game of Thrones episodes, especially the Blackwater episode he directed.
Okay, cool.
So you get the amazing action.
Yeah, I would like to see what he could do with...
He directed Blackwater?
Blackwater.
I would
And you
like to
also
see what
get-
he could do with like a really big budget.
Right, exactly. And then you have Sif coming in, who's gonna. Well, so we saw Sif last movie, but we didn't see her relationship with Thor really build. Now we're gonna see that, and it's gonna be kind of like a standoff between Jane Foster and Sif, which is gonna be really interesting. I really like the cast they're putting together here, and the fact that they add Zachary Levi to the mix, I really enjoy as well. So overall, I feel as though this movie is definitely gonna be one of the stronger Marvel Phase 2 movies.
Yeah.
But I just feel bad that we have to wait until November to get it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what I like about this, Thor's hair is in a ponytail, so he's not frizzy like a lion.
You didn't like his big lion's mane?
Yeah, no. I feel as though when you put it like that, I just think I'm watching Narnia. So, what's that? What was the lion's name in Narnia?
Asgard.
No, not Asgard. Idiot.
I don't know. It's something Christianic.
It's very Christianic.
I don't know
Anyway,
if
so
that's the word.
let's move on. I just want to hit really quickly on R.I.P.D. R.I.P.D. Not looking forward to it. This is, of course, an adaptation of the R.I.P.D.
It's a good book, though.
Book, yeah. I've heard great things about the book. I've never read it, but here's the problem I have with it. Jeff Bridges in it. That sounds good, right? You know who else is in it? You want to think? I'll give you 2 guesses.
Ryan Reynolds.
There you go. Ryan Reynolds.
Oh.
So that throws me off the
I
whole
don't know.
movie.
Well, it's not about he's being in the movie. I'm looking at the way they're making this film.
Right.
And it seems like Men in Black 4.
It really does feel like that, right?
Yeah.
It feels like I watched the
Those
trailer
ghosts.
and I was like, this looks pretty bad. I'm not really looking forward to this. But to each their own. I know there'll be a built-in fan base there, so that's great. But at the same time, I'm not really personally looking forward to this. This is not going to be a movie that I go sit in line at the theater for.
Yeah.
Another one I'm not going to be sitting in line for, but I know a lot of people, more people than for R.I.P.D. is Kick-Ass 2. Now, Kick-Ass has been, of course, one of the biggest superhero movies that came out.
Yeah, that was
really was
pretty
it was a good movie, and not only that, it took everyone by surprise, and it made a really
It was one
good.
of my favorite superhero movies.
Right, exactly. So it made a really good impression on a lot of people, and it picked up with. This is going to pick up right after Kick-Ass 1, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. It has a great cast associated with it, which is my biggest one to go see it. You have Aaron Johnson again, who's actually really great as that role, as Kick-Ass. Then you have Chloe Moretz, who everyone knows is great.
You have Jim Carrey.
You have Jim Carrey.
You don't want to say anything else?
I don't want to say anything else about Chloe Moretz.
Wait, you have the guy from Scrubs.
You have the guy from Scrubs, Donald Faison. You also have Christopher Mintz-Plasse coming back as playing Red Mist.
Nope, he's playing Mother Effer.
Oh, Mother Effer, I'm sorry. Then you also have, who else is in it? John Leguizamo is also on it. So you have
Jim
this.
Carrey's also in it.
We already talked about that. So
You need
we're
to say
falling
Jim
behind.
We need to say Jim Carrey twice, just so everybody knows.
Yeah. But so
that's
he
what I'm
actually,
going for.
this movie actually looks pretty interesting. It seems to be a very action-focused book or movie.
Ugh.
And I know there will be a lot of people who really enjoy this. It's going to be nice and dark. I will say the one thing I'm really upset about is that, in all honesty, and I'm saying this without any sarcasm in it, I really miss Nick Cage in this role.
Yeah, he was actually really
He,
cool. in the
one
first
of his
movie.
better movies. He has a lot
I
of
also
duds.
really like that character.
Yeah.
That he was playing.
But I know that's going to be a big redemption story for Hit Girl, so that's going to be pretty solid. And I think they're also going to blend a little bit of the Hit Girl miniseries into the movie as well.
Okay.
So for comic readers who like the Mark Miller Kick-Ass universe, you're really going to get your fill here. Speaking of Mark Miller, there's also next summer going to be The Secret Service, which they just actually casted Colin Firth in the role of Uncle Jack. So that actually looks really cool, but we'll go back to that next
Who do
year.
you think is gonna play him? The kid.
I have no idea. Eminem.
Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds playing Eminem, playing Ryan Reynolds playing Eminem.
Yeah.
Playing Green Lantern, playing Hal Jordan.
Right. That's how we're going to go with this. Anyway, so let's move on to the biggest one of the year, and the one that everyone's been talking about, the one that everyone's looking forward to, or at least most people are looking forward to, and us at the 9-Panel Gang are really just can't wait for. And I think everyone knows that's Man of
Green
Steel.
Lantern 2.
Green Lantern 2, yeah. The rise of Ryan Reynolds. Anyway.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, who isn't down for that?
More CGI.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just recast Ryan Reynolds as Ryan Gosling, and I will totally go see that movie.
Not gonna lie though, best part of Green Lantern, Mark Strong as
Yes,
Sinestro.
and Sinestro, that was actually pretty solid. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But Man of Steel really looks to have the pedigree of a winner here.
Yeah.
I know not everyone likes Zack Snyder, but let me get this straight. Let me get this off my chest. This does not look like a Zack Snyder film.
No.
Okay, it looks like it has elements of that, but it looks like he's taking this more seriously, less tongue-in-cheek, less huge action sequences. The flight looks really amazing,
Yeah.
and honestly,
I like
the way
the
that
pained look of the flight. Like, it doesn't look like the the Superman you're used to, where he can just do whatever the hell he wants. It looks like this is taking some effort,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's going to be really interesting because
like a more human Superman.
I really like that we're getting a true origin story of him here. They're bringing in some of the greatest elements of some of my favorite Superman stories, like Superman Birthright in the trailer, the latest trailer. Amy Adams, Lois Lane, is just about saying, what does the S stand for? And he says, well, it's not an S. It's a symbol. What's the symbol stand for?
That's how you say
hope.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think, a really brilliant way
Yeah.
to introduce the character and give him a really strong conviction.
Yeah.
Because his father gave that to him, Jor-El gave that to him right as he was leaving Krypton. I love the way they're looking at Krypton too. It looks really beaten down. It has this really nice ancient look to it, but still really futuristic. Which Zack Snyder's talked about, which I really think.
haggard.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a really solid way of doing things. But overall, I really can't wait for this movie. Yeah, Hans Zimmer has just had his score come out, and it's brilliant. I listened to it. I really love it. Not only that, but you have a really good supporting cast. Honestly, I'm going to go out on a whim here and say, you know how after everyone walked out of The Dark Knight, everyone was like, wow,
That
Heath
was
Ledger.
amazing, yeah.
Heath Ledger was the reason I love that movie so much. Michael Shannon's General Zod is going to be that character.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael Shannon is one
Just
of
from the previews, like his voice sounds so cool.
Yep. Michael Shannon is honestly one of America's undersung, brilliant actors. He had amazing roles in Take Shelter last year. He had a great role on Boardwalk Empire, and he just fits the bill of Zod so perfectly. I can't wait to see.
He seems like a scary dude.
Exactly, he seems like a scary dude, and he can really get intense about it. And I like the fact that they're going to rely on the really Krypton elements of this to really build a trilogy of a character you really feel a connection to. One of the biggest problems I felt that Bryan Singer's Superman did is that they kind of jumped into the same Superman mythos that was established from the movies from the 70s.
And then they also, while that movie wasn't terrible, they kind of painted themselves into a corner with the Superman kid.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
like, what are you going to do with that in the next movie?
Exactly. So I'm really hoping for a nice rehash here. You have Christopher Nolan being the producer on this. Henry Cavill looks... We actually had this conversation. The one thing that we haven't seen, and the one thing I'm a little concerned about, is can Henry Cavill look like Clark Kent when he's not in the Superman
I
garb?
haven't seen it yet, but I think...
When he puts those glasses on, when he
Yeah,
puts
that's
that
gonna
suit
be-
and tie on, how is he going to look?
He's gonna look fun.
That's really going to have to tie the movie together, too.
Yeah, because that's his big thing. That's what they're
they
focusing
really
on
haven't
in this
shown
movie.
that yet.
Nope. They showed him, I think the one scene that we see him, 2 scenes that we see him without his Superman uniform
Yeah, he
on.
had like a beard. He looked like he was actually working as like a lumber.
Or like a fisherman or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, but definitely manual labor. But I really
Yeah, not
like
the
the cast.
classic reporter look.
Yep. And I'll tell you this, I'm not a huge fan of Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe looks pretty good as Jor-El.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed. I really cannot look forward to this movie more. You can expect a review from us coming afterwards. And honestly,
I'm actually going to the premiere.
And Ollie's going to the premiere, so we'll hear a lot of good stuff about it. It's good. Don't worry. Anyway, so let's move on to our biggest top 5 superhero movies. This is going to be our final piece of information for today. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go see Iron Man 3 so we can do the review. But we're actually going to count down our top 5 superhero movies. We wanted to do this top 5 Marvel movies, right?
Yeah, no, I
But
think so.
we found that all 5 of those Marvel movies are going to be the same ones for each
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, we
so we
said have
decided to go a little
different
bit off. And I like that we did that because we get some pretty good variety here. So Ollie, why don't we start with your number 5 and we'll work our way off.
Spawn.
We'll go clockwise here. So Spawn, tell us about Spawn. Spawn,
was
I don't
like-
know.
Spawn was like the first real comic book movie to come out.
One of. Well,
Was
I
it
mean,
the
Superman.
First real good superhero.
Well, yeah, like the
coming out?
first outside of Superman and the Batmans. It was the first
Well, there, yeah.
superhero movie to come out, and that was like '97.
Yeah, about that.
I grew up like loving Spawn because I started reading Spawn to piss off my parents.
That
So,
sounds about right.
when this
I
book
feel like
came-
every kid in 3rd grade picked up Spawn at the
Yeah.
at the newsstand.
So-
Being like, Mom, look
Actually,
what I got.
I had a friend in 3rd grade who read Spawn as well.
What was his name? Again,
Oddly
was his name
enough.
Eric? So one of my best friends, Eric, is actually a huge fan of Spawn. And yeah, I mean, like the movie was great. It was a black superhero. It was a black anti-hero. It was gruesome, especially the director's cut, which I don't think a lot of people have seen.
Yeah.
So definitely ranks up there. It still keeps a piece of my childhood.
I don't know. I saw this movie a little while ago. I saw pieces of it.
Yeah, I don't know how well
I don't know if it holds up well.
Yeah.
Especially the special effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to each their own. I mean, everyone is going to have a different feeling on comic book movies and what they want in a comic book movie. And I know one of my picks is going to be quite controversial. John, yours is not going to be your number 5. So what is it?
Captain America.
Not going to be controversial.
Yeah, it's Captain America.
Right.
I thought that was a really cool like origin story, and plus it had a really cool villain with what's his face?
Well, you had Red Skull.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about who's the actor?
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, he was
Agent
awesome.
Smith from
and I'm
Matrix.
really gonna miss him in the sequel.
And those weird commercials that he's in right now for like insurance, where he plays Agent Smith.
Agent Smith, yeah.
It's really awkward, and it makes me feel like we're living in the Matrix now. So that's good.
Maybe.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, we're gonna talk a little bit about Captain America in a bit, so let's not spoil it.
Okay.
But my number 5 is another one that we're going to talk about a little bit later because I know it's up someone's list.
Avengers.
This is going to be the Avengers. So I know everyone's going to be crying blasphemy. This is one of the best ones, you know? No. Look, it was great, but it was a popcorn movie. It was very thin. It had a lot of really good character acting. I think the team worked really well together.
I thought it was like Iron Man 2.5.
Yeah, it was really entertaining, don't get me wrong, and that's why it's in my top 5. But I don't think I had the story of some other ones.
It's way too low for me. That thing, it really combined.
It's not even my
combined
5.
like all the cool, it brought all the characters together.
Not Hawkeye.
It was, you know.
Yeah, I don't know why Hawkeye was even in that movie.
Yeah, it was just like a build-up of like the entire year of Marvel movies into the Avengers, and I just thought it fit together so well.
Yeah, you know what the thing is with that movie, or this movie that I think is really interesting, is that it set the groundwork for making future Avengers movies feel natural.
Yeah.
This, you went into it and you didn't know if it was going to be like amazing. Well, you thought it was going to be amazing, but you didn't know how it was going to work in terms of a film. But now you know what to expect, and I think they can kind of grow off of that. And now that we're going to get Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in the next movie, I like that they're going to expand it and bring in characters from movies that we have from characters that we haven't even seen in movies.
Well, it's interesting. Iron Man 3 was supposed to. The rumor was supposed to introduce the Wasp.
Really?
And it didn't. No.
Well, I'm guessing since they announced Ant-Man, they're going to introduce Wasp there. But what's your number 4?
My number 4 is easily Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell people a little bit about Dark Knight? Don't spoil too much though.
Dark
we have
Knight
more people
for
talking
me
about it.
Was the second best Batman movie. I know, like I'm in the minority in that.
Yep.
But I'm okay with that. It was a good film.
I agree with you though.
I love Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath is great in it.
I didn't.
R.I.P.
I didn't.
Not thumbs up, thumbs down. R.I.P.
Well, we can thumbs up. He's probably kicking it back right now.
Do you think he's part of the R.I.P.D. now?
He probably is.
Connections.
Yeah. So him and Ryan Reynolds were boys. So I didn't think there was any real good like build up for Batman characterization. He was still annoying, and yeah, it was just too much. Like I felt it was a Joker film, and it wasn't a Batman movie.
It was a Joker film,
but it was still very good though.
I honestly think this film has been devalued since Dark Knight Rises come out, only for the fact, and listen to me, only because Dark Knight Rises originally, or so we hear through the grapevine, was supposed to be the follow-up Joker story.
Yeah.
Right? And when Dark Knight Rises came out, it turned it back to the Talia al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul storyline. And I feel like that standalone movie with the Joker kind of falls flat then, because it doesn't have any connections.
You also remember that Christopher Nolan did not want to do Dark Knight Rises.
Right, exactly. So I feel like there's a lot of.
He didn't want to.
He wasn't.
He didn't want to do it because he wanted to do the movie with Heath.
Yeah.
Okay, so he wanted to end the franchise there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that wasn't really his choice.
Well,
but,
he wanted to end the franchise there. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But anyway, so I think I like that pick at number 4. John, what's your number 4?
Blade 2.
All right, so I love Blade.
Yeah.
And I love the Blade movies.
Yeah.
So why is Blade 2 the best one, and why is it at number 4 of all-time superhero movies?
It's the best one because it doesn't have Dracula it doesn't have Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel as in the third one.
That's the best one.
And it took this. Honestly, that was the best one. It took all the cool elements of Blade 2 and kind of streamlined it. And then
Blade 1, you're saying?
Yeah, it took Blade 1 and then made it more epic, where you have like Blade going across countries. He's traveling, and then he's also working along.
Wesley Snipes.
What?
It's Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
How can you go wrong?
Well, I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Also teaming up with the vampires to face a totally new threat.
Yep.
And then there was like an ending twist, and then all the action sequences were really cool. It's really well filmed.
I like the fact that the rating of this was R2. I think it really served the Blade franchise really well. That's why I think Blade Trinity had an issue, because they went to that PG-13 rating, and you couldn't do it.
Ryan Reynolds.
Well, they also brought in Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, Dracula, the villain they brought in was terrible. He just felt like instead of Dracula, he just felt like some muscle dude who also happened to be a vampire.
Right, exactly. So there was the one thing that was missing in this movie, though, and I do have to say this: there's no Stephen Dorff, so that's really sad.
No, because you have Ryan Reynolds.
No, that was in the third movie. I'm saying in the second one,
Right, yeah.
you needed Stephen Dorff. Speaking of which, speaking of Stephen Dorff, not on a comic book related note, but number one, he's doing great commercials for Blue electronic cigarettes.
Yeah, I was gonna say he does electronic cigarettes.
But number two, he did a great movie 2 years ago with Sofia Coppola as the director and Elle Fanning, Somewhere.
Yeah.
It was really brilliant. If you have time,
if you're a
it's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I guess if you're a hipster, you'll probably enjoy that book or movie. But anyway, my number 4 is actually going to be a little controversial, I feel, because I think there's a big split camp on this movie. And this goes to another Zack Snyder film, and I think it's pretty obvious that it's Watchmen. I think...
Oh, I thought it was going to be Sucker Punch.
No. So Watchmen is honestly a very decisive film for a lot of people. Some people love it, some people hate it. I found when it came to I really enjoyed it. I found that it was not perfect, but there were a lot of elements that I enjoyed seeing on the silver screen.
Yeah.
You also had some really great moments. I thought the way they captured Dr. Manhattan was very authentic, except for the end, of course, which we can all debate for years.
See, that's my problem with it. It stuck too close to the book in some places, and it went too far away from the book in other places.
Yep. And there's also the problem with Zack Snyder. You know, he feels as though that he has to put really loud, blaring music and sound effects in all of his movies.
Also, yeah, a lot. I also had a problem with the music. It felt like the music a lot of times was chosen more ironically than actually fitting the scene.
I did see that a little bit.
Like when they picked the Jimi Hendrix cover of All Along the Watchtower at the end, it changed the tone of the film from like this caper to, hey, we're like going on spring break.
Yeah, I can understand that. But overall, I thought the overall acting of it was really great. Jackie Earle Haley made an incredible Rorschach.
He was awesome.
What was the Billy Crudup actually played a really good Dr. Manhattan. Really nailed it.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I didn't think anyone was really out of their element when it came to the casting. Maybe Silk Spectre.
No, I think that was kind of miscast. Yeah.
Oh, I disagree. I thought Matthew Good did a great job.
He had a pencil neck. Like he doesn't look like the physically like that imposing guy you have.
No, but he never did look like that in the comics.
Yeah, he did. He looked like a classic superhero.
I
guess. He had the classic superhero physique. This guy looked like some pencil neck who worked in the office who happened to also be a superhero.
And I also have to say, like you said earlier about Spawn, about the director's cut, Zack Snyder's director's cut was actually a lot better than the film theatrical version. It actually pushed over the 3-hour limit, but I actually thought it was needed. I think that.
Yeah, honestly, I felt that too. They cut out so much.
Right, exactly. So there's a lot of great stuff that they really cut out, and I really would have wished they did a little bit more. And what's not all right. So here's another thing that really worked well for Watchmen, the director's cut, is that they interspersed the Tales of the Black Freighter within the actual film itself.
That's cool.
So it actually worked a lot better, and they had a little bit more of the Minutemen.
Okay.
So you had a lot more of the history, which actually set the world a little bit better. But anyway, moving up the list, we start on number 3. John, or Ali, why don't you tell the people what you got?
Iron Man.
Iron Man's a great film.
I thought it was a definitive film in the sense that it was a character that I grew up on. I mean, I collected a lot of Iron Man, and nobody else did. So for me, it was like when I saw it.
Well, Iron Man wasn't huge when you were growing up.
No.
It wasn't, but that was the thing. I used to read it.
Yeah,
it was one of the few books that I read that everyone was like, "Why do you read that book?" So at the end of the day, Robert Downey Jr. killed it.
Yeah.
We have Jeff Bridges as the villain, amazing.
Yeah, he played a great Obadiah.
He did.
Like really menacing, but also really sly.
They really, the origin story of Tony was great. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, definitely, I think still the best Iron Man.
All right, well, I haven't seen the third one yet, so I'll make my decision. But I have to say, I think they did everything right in that movie. Jon Favreau cast the film really well. Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, I think, is one of the smartest.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really liked what's his name as War Machine before Don Cheadle was.
I know
Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, Hustle and Flow. Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, if it wasn't for like the dispute between Terrence Howard and Jon Favreau, I think that he is the definitive War Machine.
Yeah, and now it's a little strange seeing Don Cheadle there because
Don Cheadle he doesn't have any muscle tone.
He doesn't have any muscle tone. He's very skinny.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a military
he's
guy.
He's small. He's not overpowering.
Yeah, but he seems smart.
But James Rhodes wasn't just smart. He was an overpowering military guy.
Yep.
I mean, Don Cheadle's smaller than Tony Stark. I mean, like, that's...
But it'll be interesting to see what they do with the War Machine character now that they go into the Avengers movies. He's hoping that they get War Machine in there, and he's actually hoping for a War Machine solo movie. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
That just doesn't make sense to me, honestly. No. I don't think that's a big enough niche of an audience. But we'll see. So anyway, John, what's your number 3 movie?
That would be X-Men First Class.
That's such a great
It
film.
was
That is
so
a great
awesome,
film.
and you know what? It was a X-Men film that took place in the same universe as the X-Men Last Stand, but somehow was able to shake off the taint of it.
Yeah.
And it had a minimal Hugh Jackman in it.
Minimal Hugh Jackman, which John and I really enjoy.
Don't shake your head.
Don't shake your head, Ollie.
I'm allowed to have an opinion.
But not only are we, not only was First Class really cool for the fact that you saw, the origins of the team, they also introduced some really great, call-ups that they can utilize in the future.
Yeah.
So you have basically the friendship between Magneto and Xavier really build a foundation there.
Okay.
So when you see X-Men now, or you see X-Men 2,
Steve, sidebar?
yeah,
Say it, don't spray it.
you
Continue.
don't have to say that. Great.
Continue.
Anyway, so you have this, when you watch X-Men now or X-Men 2, was it X-Men X2? What is that?
X2. X-Men United.
X-Men United, correct. When you see that now, you get a little bit more of the the story there, and it feels a little bit meatier. So I feel like this movie really did a great job, and it set up a next trilogy that's really gonna be solid.
Yeah.
So it's a good call. Anyway, let's move on to my number 3 book, and that has to be, and I know this is gonna be a little weird, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2.
Wow, that was a really good movie, actually.
Really, I saw it.
I
year
kind
and a half.
of have to watch it again now.
I
saw it.
I hate the guy who plays Doc Ock.
I don't understand how
can't
you
stand
don't like
Why?
Alfred
him.
Molina.
I just don't like him.
He's a nice guy.
I hated I don't care if he's a nice guy. I've hated everything he's ever been in that I've seen.
Maybe that's true, but either way, I still think the relationship between Mary Jane and Peter in this movie is really solid. You have the fallout of losing Uncle Ben more in a serious, exposed way. So you see the bank taking the house away from Aunt May, and that really put a lot of pressure on Peter. I think it's the best villain we had in any of the Spider-Man villains.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean that's one thing. That
Well,
movies
Willem
have always
Dafoe was
missed.
pretty good.
What?
Willem Dafoe was pretty good.
Willem Dafoe was good, but I don't think he hit on all strides the way Alfred Molina did.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Not only that, but we have James Franco probably playing the best role he's done in the Spider-Man franchise.
Yeah.
I think he was easily at the peak of his form in the second movie.
James Franco was he was another weak link in that movie.
How?
Anytime he is forced to cry on camera, look, I can do it.
I don't think he cried in that movie.
No, well, he's
That was in
terrible.
the first
He's
movie.
a terrible actor.
No, he is not.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
He can only play James Franco.
That's not true. Did you see 127 hours?
Yeah,
He
it was
played
James
James
Franco
Franco.
getting
He
stuck
did
in
not
a
play
rock.
James Franco there. Anyway, let's not argue this. Anyway, I still think Tobey Maguire is a better Peter Parker. That's my own personal opinion.
Well, yeah, at least that Spider-Man wasn't constantly
taking off his mask. Correct.
Good point. That was really annoying.
But Ali, why don't you keep on telling people? Or actually, yeah, why don't we go up to your number 2?
So my number 2's changed. It's actually X-Men First Class.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that
so
was
you
the
dropped one.
Yeah, my initially was X-Men, and then I realized First Class was the more definitive than
Yeah.
X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
You know, X-Men
Although I
was
will
great
say
because
X-Men and X-Men 2 were good, but X-Men.
I thought they were
First Class.
great. I
First
thought they were
Class
great in
really
the
set
sense
up-
that X-Men was great because it was the first time we saw the characters that we love on screen.
Right.
You know, before, and we haven't even gotten bored of Wolverine yet.
Hey, you know what it is about First Class?
Yeah.
It's X-Men and X-Men 2 were both good comic book movies, but First Class was just a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I would
exactly.
just my mom could probably watch that and then get something out of it.
Yeah,
and actually sit
the
through it.
mutants. I mean, while they did show off some of the mutant ability, it wasn't really in your face about it,
Yeah.
which was nice. I
We
mean,
also
some
talked
of-
about real things like the Holocaust,
Right.
Yeah.
The Bay of Pigs and
Yeah, it was
the
set
Cuban
very
Missile
much in
Crisis,
reality.
racism in the 60s.
racism in the 60s.
A version of our reality.
Yeah, it hit really on all cylinders, and I really think the cast was really strong. I love Michael Fassbender, so that always hits well.
Yeah.
James McAvoy is actually a pretty solid actor.
Yeah.
He has a new movie coming out that looks really dirty.
Oh, it's called, isn't it called Dirty? No, it's called,
Filth.
Filth, yeah.
Filth. Looking up the trailer, it looks kind of ridiculous. Anyway, so I do agree that X-Men First Class is definitely the higher of the two movies, but X-Men, you're right. You didn't get sick of Wolverine yet. You thought he was really cool. You have that really awesome brawl scene in Canada.
Yeah.
And not only that,
Yeah,
you
that
have-
actually was a pretty cool.
that was pretty cool. And not only that, you have
Nope, there was no brawl scene in Canada.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
the,
the big fight.
opening of
Oh,
X-Men?
the beginning, the first scene?
Yeah, and you have Rogue just watching.
Yep.
Oh, that was the first
cage
scene. Yeah,
match,
yeah, yeah.
and then they had the fight in the tundra as well.
Apparently, James Brown said that Catwoman is the best film.
James, I know you.
Oh my God!
You're
why
a
didn't-
smart man.
Yeah, no.
I don't know
he's
why
right.
you're using
I don't
the
think
sarcasm.
No, he's not being sarcastic. I totally agree.
Oh, yeah?
Halle Berry fighting cosmetic companies.
Is that what she was doing? I've never seen the film.
Yeah, it was
I'm all about it.
It was some type of cosmetic company, and they were releasing some type of
Who's the other
aging
chick?
makeup that was supposed to make you look really young. And it works for like the first month, and then it just starts turning you decrepit as soon as you stop using
Who's
it.
the first chick? Who's the chick she fought?
I don't remember. That's the only thing I remember from that.
I don't
because of the
understand
Wiki-
why they didn't make a sequel to that movie.
Well,
Actually, I know because of I read the Wikipedia page. I didn't see the movie.
Oh, you've never seen the movie?
I've only seen
But
bits and
you've
pieces of
re-
the movie,
okay.
and I saw it to the point where like, you know what? Let me just Wikipedia this bitch.
Interesting. All right, so let's move on to your number 2, John. Tell us why the Avengers hit so high.
Because it was
John's number 2.
I agree. Ron's an agreeable gentleman.
nice. Actually, I'm going to switch that out with the movement. The movement's my number 2 now.
You gotta go to them, take a movement?
Yeah.
If you're not up on comic books right now, the reason John's saying he needs to take a movement
why would
is
you explain
because
the joke? It's not funny if you explain it.
because people are gonna be like, does he need to go to the bathroom?
It's really not funny. His number 2 is Avengers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Avengers. It's you know what it is. It's just the I really enjoyed how Marvel just set that up. You had all the first movie, you had Captain America, Thor, set up for this, and then they just came together, and then it was just done so well. And they really, each character got its own moment. It wasn't overpacked, and it was a fun superhero movie.
Yeah, no, it really was. I liked, we keep on going back to it, but of course, like some of the highlights there, everyone talked about it when it came out, but I think it is, people thought it was maybe a little bit too much of a ploy, but I thought the way Mark Ruffalo handled Banner himself, and not the whole character, because that was, of course, Lou Ferrigno and a team of CGI people, but the way he was able to handle...
Wait a minute, Lou Ferrigno wasn't also playing...
he was the
Banner?
motion capture guy. No. Yeah, I know, ridiculous. Anyway, so we
They
had...
motion captured for that, and then just did like a Mark Ruffalo computer animated guy.
No. So we had Mark Ruffalo in this, and
Maybe
I
for the
think he
sequel.
brought a nice amount of tense nature to
No, he was the
Banner.
best Bruce Banner there has been in the movie.
Hands down.
Even
Hands
Edward
down.
Norton, who I enjoyed as Bruce Banner.
Well, they're best friends.
I thought Ruffalo did a good job.
They are actually best
Are
friends.
they?
Yeah.
They seem like they get along.
But anyway, so I really did enjoy Banner in that movie, and that's why it kicked so heavy in high gear there.
Yeah.
And he had, of course, when he was Hulk, he had the great one-liners.
Uh-huh.
And then Tony Stark always brings that nice element of humor to it.
Yeah.
That sometimes can be missing in
really
superhero
enjoyed
movies.
the relationship between Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. It was really like that whole
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
chemistry was really cool.
Yeah. And I can definitely see that going in the future, building a nice relationship there.
Uh-huh.
And I'm glad that they got all these characters locked down in the long-term contracts.
Yes.
So that really lets us know, we don't have to worry
Well,
about this
Tony
happening.
doesn't really have a long-term contract.
Tony does not, but I'm going to go ahead.
They're
on
saying
one.
they want him back.
Yeah.
And come on, you're not going to just say, no, we're not going to pay that much money. They're going to pay him the money.
They might.
Yeah.
They could say that.
Anyway, the last one before we get to our top ones is my number 2, and that would be Captain America. Now, Captain America is one of those characters that everyone seems to enjoy, but on the big screen, people were a little hesitant. What I really liked about this movie the most is the way they were able to capture that World War II vibe.
Yeah.
And actually make it a modern movie.
Well, I didn't like the when he was small. He looked like...
He looked ridiculous.
Yeah,
when
that
he
was a
small.
little ridiculous.
It looked
He
a little like...
He looked physically deformed.
He did. He did. But I mean, I really
you're
like.
laughing at.
I really like the
Physical
the
deformation.
depression era
It was
nature
bad
of it.
CGI.
You hit my funny bone.
I really like the depression era nature of it. I thought it was a pretty solid way of going throughout things.
Yeah.
Then the World War II stuff actually felt like a World War II movie,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
the best part about
Stanley
it.
Tucci was
Also,
great.
Stanley Tucci
great-
was solid.
I'm saying it again, but great villain.
Great villain. Toby Jones was also a really great Zola.
Yeah.
So that's nice that he's
Oh,
going
he
to be
played
coming
Zola?
back. Yeah. He was the
Oh, yeah,
he was
Dr.
the scientist.
Zola. Right.
So I think there was a
Man,
lot
it'd
of
be
good
really
stuff
cool
going
if
on.
He brought him into the negative zone.
Yes, that'd be great,
For the next
but that's not
movie.
going to happen. But anyway, so
We can
I really
always
like
hope.
the way they set up this character. Chris Evans, I know people feel a little odd about Chris Evans.
I thought he played awesome Captain America.
He hits
And
the
an awesome Johnny Storm.
yeah.
Did he?
He hits the
There was nothing awesome about that. Those movies.
Speaking of Johnny Storm, did you hear that they're casting a black Johnny Storm?
How's it gonna
Michael B.
don't-
Jordan from Chronicle.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, but what I really liked about this movie is not only Chris Evans' performance
gonna be
felt
weird.
great in that type of environment where he's the leader, he's strong and he's strong-willed and he's always going to be getting the job done.
Uh-huh.
But not only that, I like the way they set up the character because when he comes to the future, and especially in that final scene that leads into the Avengers, and I can't wait for Winter Soldier because of this exactly, he hits that man out of time
Yeah, so well.
incredibly well.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't really look forward to this movie anymore.
Yeah, there's just a loneliness to the Captain America character at the end of that when he realizes he's just totally alone.
Right, exactly. Well, let's get into our number 1 top superhero movies of all time. Now, Ollie, you and I have the same top movie of all time, so let's cover ours first, and then we'll get to the worst
It's funny
one.
how you guys are so stupid together.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
number 1 movie,
continue.
Batman Begins.
Yeah, so Batman Begins set the...
That's
good
it.
movie.
Yeah, you're right. It set the
But-
tone, and the thing I liked about it was like that was the Bruce Wayne origin story we were waiting for.
Yep, that's exactly it.
And it built it up, and we got so much out of it. Christian Bale was still decent in it.
No,
he wasn't grumbling.
I
the
think he
entire
was the
time.
best one. I think that was the best performance of Christian Bale in the Batman series.
Yeah, absolutely.
What Batman movies did you see? I thought he
Also,
was
we had a
awesome
really great
Batman.
villain.
No, he was.
We
But I think the best one he was in was Batman Begins. He played the best
we
role
had a
there.
decent villain which matched Bale. He didn't like overexert Bale like Heath Ledger did.
Yep. Liam Neeson, I'm not a huge fan of him, but he hit on all strides there.
Yeah.
He made a really interesting
That
racial
was,
role.
you know what? That's actually a funny point. This is actually, I think, is this the point where Liam Neeson became the action star?
Yeah, this is like right before that.
Yeah.
So I think it hit on all cylinders there. And not only that, I know I'm on the minority here, but I think Katie Holmes is actually a better
Oh my God.
Rachel Dawson.
Actually, I'm going to disagree with you there. I think it's just a forgettable role.
Yep.
It is a forgettable role.
Yeah,
I'll give you
it was just
that.
a
Is it
forgettable.
weird being stupid, or are you just so stupid you don't know you're stupid?
Hey.
I mean, that's what it is.
I'm just saying, he said that about
Hey,
Katie
hey,
Holmes.
hey. Yeah, he did.
You ever seen
Actually,
the
that was
GIF?
pretty stupid.
Yes, I did see the gift.
But
All right, there, Mr. Skill.
but like I said, there was a lot of. We also had a couple. Like we had Scarecrow.
Scarecrow was an incredible villain, and
Yeah.
here's the thing: the casting choices by Nolan really set the future of the Batman universe here in such a drastic way
Inception.
that's why I really enjoyed it. Well, you know, the thing is with not only the Scarecrow, I can't remember his name now. He's one of my favorite actors.
Oh, he's such a weird looking dude.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, so he was amazing in that role, and he plays that type of lunatic role really well. Especially if you've seen Danny Boyle's Sunshine,
Yeah.
he plays that role really well in there as well.
Yeah.
Chris Evans actually in that movie too, so weird intermingling there.
Yeah.
That's a great film actually. If you're looking, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway, but not only do we have that, but we had Michael Caine coming in as
Yeah.
Alfred.
Oh my
And
God, Michael Caine was so awesome.
Michael Caine was amazing in that movie, and he hit someone with a golf club.
Yeah.
And the Wayne Mansion burned down.
Why do
Wayne
we
Manor
call down
burned
Mr.
down.
White? Pick our shops back up. Wait, no, that's
That
Bane.
was Bane.
That's Bane.
That was your best Bane you've done in months.
Thank you.
But you weren't trying to do Bane, so
No,
you
that
shouldn't
was-
be
But
taking that
yeah,
as a
regardless.
compliment.
I'm gonna take
So
my
why do
yeah.
you think Dark Knight shits on this?
Because it's just such.
So,
It
if you
takes-
didn't know, John's pick, number one.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
It had the better villain, Joker, who is
Granted.
iconic. And he takes everything that they built with Batman Begins and just makes it an epic storyline. And you really get the feel of Gotham as a city. Like, it really expands it. With the first one, it just felt like you were going from here to there. And, like, Gotham itself didn't have, like, a connective tissue. And this one, like, the Gotham, this is where Gotham actually starts to take on its, like, become its own character that you see in the second and third movies.
Yes, I will give you that. The Gotham starts to, you know
And-
why that
Yeah,
happens
you know-
though. It's because of the criminal underworld that they established. And what's his face? Eric Roberts did an amazing job filling that role of Marconi.
Yeah.
So that really fit.
Yeah, but I mean, the first one was really about Batman.
I agree, and that's
But
why I like it better.
Christopher Nolan understands the relationship between Joker and the Batman. He got it perfectly.
Yeah,
Every
but
other movie that they
The movie's called Batman. It's not called Dark Knight. It's not called The Joker.
I agree.
Yes, but Batman is cool because of the cool villains.
Yes, I will give
cool.
John that.
Alright, why don't we just take away all the villains of the Batman's movies, since it's always about Batman? Just have Batman
I agree with
going
him.
about his day.
Batman
getting ready,
is the reason
hanging
Batman's
out.
everyone's favorite character is because he has the best villains.
Yeah, it's true.
And Joker was hands down the best villain of all the series. Can we at least agree on that?
Yeah. I will tell you this though. You know who I liked more than the Joker in that movie, and I know everyone, really gets on me for this?
No.
Aaron Eckhart's version of Harvey Dent / Two-Face.
Yeah.
I liked him better as
that was
Harvey
awesome.
Dent.
I liked him better as Harvey Dent too.
Two-Face.
He was an incredible White Knight.
Yeah.
And I love the conversations that him and Bruce Wayne had during the movie.
I have another reason why I really enjoy it. This is also remind me of the same beat of The Empire Strikes Back, and where it ends
Okay.
on a downer. And life's just a series of down notes.
You're a depressing person, aren't
I'm
you?
sorry, but that's why it's awesome.
Well, we can get into this other argument about this argument that Jedi
Oh,
is
you also
better than
forgot.
Empire.
You
We
are
also-
wrong.
Before we end, also in the fall, Since you already talked about Thor, we're also getting Sin City 2.
Yes, Sin City 2.
Oh yeah.
So I will not be seeing that.
I
Yeah.
will.
Sin City really didn't
Age
age all that well.
The graphics are pretty cool, but I thought the
How
story
did-
was
how did-
incredibly
how did it
thin.
age well?
I just don't think the story. I thought the story was
That's
very
not.
thin.
That's not a right thing to say.
It's the same thing about 300. Like 300 was cool in the theaters, but you know what? When I'm at home, I realize I'm just watching a whole bunch of really ripped guys
Yeah,
on
'cause
screen for about like 2 hours.
They realize how shitty your life is.
I guess.
Ouch. I'll leave with the personal attacks.
Personal attacks are fun.
Yes, high five.
And easy.
Anyway.
Oh, my eyes, my ears just stung.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Anyway, that was a nice high five we just had there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's going to do it here for us at the Fallout Shelter for Free Comic Book Day. We are 9-panel. This is Ale Balmar at Expressing It. You can see it underneath his name. And it's really right here.
Right there.
Right there. I don't know. We got it. Anyway,
got it.
this is John Lauren. He's at JohnLore85. He doesn't
tell
use Twitter.
behind there.
Yeah, right there.
He uses it now.
And I'm Steve DeFeo at Stevesy. And we want to thank our hosts at the Fallout Shelter. We have Mark floating around the store. Mark, say hello. He said hello. But we also have Ron and everyone else handing out the books, doing a great job. Make sure if you're in the area to come check out the store. We're doing 4 week. What are we doing?
This week we're doing 3.
This week we're doing 3.
Yeah.
So
We usually
look
do
for.
Usually 2.
You will post a link to the YouTube video here if you want to watch again. We also have our Iron Man stream going up on Sunday. Or Iron Man review, I should say. Spoilers, so make sure you've seen the movie or don't care about spoilers. And then we also have our 9-panel polls podcast coming up this Tuesday to get you ready for the comic books that are going to be coming out on May 8th, 2013 at your local comic book shop. And are you going to pop your collar? Is that what you were just about to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why were you going to pop your collar?
That was gonna be the outro. Thank
This
you
is
for
gonna be the
ruining
pop-
that.
this is
I
gonna
was
be-
gonna pop my collar and go. Read comic books, bro.
I don't know if that
Like
works.
a cool guy. I don't know. Well,
Hey, bros.
once you call attention to it,
Right.
it's a
All
surprise.
right, can we just get off
But thank
there?
you.
But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. You can follow us on Twitter at 9panel. We also have our Facebook page. You can search for 9panel there. You can go to www.9panel.com to see what we're up to every day. We have a great review of our
Mighty
friend
Titan.
Joe Martino, The Mighty Titan. Just got kickstarted and finished the book. It's a great book. You should go out and support Joe. He's a great friend and definitely something you should check out. Ollie wrote a review and he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really good.
And we'll actually have, in the future here, we're going to have an interview with Curtis J. Weeb coming up. We also have an interview with Joe Martino and some more scheduled. So make sure you follow us there.
You should.
And you should, you should definitely follow us. And we're going to try to do more video podcasts here in the next few months. So stick tuned with that and follow us on Ustream. And one last thing. Subscribe on iTunes and give us a 5-star review. It really helps our ratings and it really helps
come out to the Fallout
bring new
Shelter.
people. And come out to the Fallout Shelter. We hope you're enjoying your free comic book day. Hope you get out to a local comic book shop and you get all the great free books
Hopefully you can get
while
out for
you're
a few,
there.
unlike us.
Yeah. The Tick is a great one that we didn't get, so make sure if you get it, let us know what you think.
Or send us your copy.
Or send us your copy to the Fallout Shelter.
It's probably online.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Legally.
But make sure you go check us out there, and we'll be seeing you again soon. So until next time, guys,
Go read some comic books, bro.
go read some comic books.